I kind of just grabbed like random assortment of Batman comics. I did want to talk about this one because this one's really crazy.
The cover looks very cool.
Yeah, this book, Batman the Cult.
Does that have anything to do with the children of Batman?
No, forget about them.
Okay, that's different.
They do not appear in anything other than Frank Miller's mind.
Okay.
Batman the Cult is awesome. This is written by Jim Starlin with art by Bernie Wrightson. The art is crazy. The story is really crazy. There's like, the main villain of this book is not Joker or Two-Face, even though they do appear a little bit.
It's Clayface.
No, it's a brand new villain for this book.
Yeah.
And
we've been talking about Batman for a while,
yeah.
And not once have you mentioned Clayface.
Man, I love Clayface.
Like, where is he?
Dude, he's in this big detective comic. Yeah, the first appearance of Clayface is in this. Actually, oh my God, here he is!
Oh my God,
right to the flipped right to it.
Awesome. Is it a boat? Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So, The Menace of Clayface, Detective Comics
He's like
number.
a swamp thing, kind of.
Yeah, like here he looks really.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the 40s.
Yeah. I just know him from the Lego games.
Oh man. Clayface is so cool. I love him. He's great in the animated series. If you want to learn more about him, definitely watch that.
Okay.
There's a few Clayfaces.
Wait, who voices Joker in that? Is that
Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill, okay.
Yeah. I think Ron Perlman might voice Clayface in
Really?
that. Or maybe I'm just losing my mind. It's someone. Clancy Brown,
I'm sure it's someone.
It is. Yeah. Okay.
He comes on screen, he has no voice.
Yeah. His lips are just moving.
Gurgling sounds.
You just hear mud noises.
Yeah.
Clayman. So, Clayface, the main Clayface is this guy, Basil Karlo.
Okay.
Who is like an old, like...
Basil. Okay.
He's like an old film actor.
Sure. It's almost like the character from Doom Patrol. What's her name?
Yeah, the Elasta girl, Elasta woman.
Is that what it is?
Ray. What's her name?
Isn't that The Incredibles?
I think that's her name also in the comics.
Okay.
What's her name?
No. Something. Rita.
Rita. Yeah, Rita. Kind of like that.
The actress becomes monster.
Straight up.
Yeah.
So.
Except Clayface is evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Clayface is an actor who. He either gets into an accident.
He falls in a
vat
of toxic
clay.
He takes a pottery class.
Yeah. Yeah, it really messes him up.
A radioactive pottery class.
So he's an actor who like gets disfigured.
Yeah.
And he starts using like this like face stuff like moisturizer.
Yeah.
But it's like bad. And it turns him into a clay monster or something. I think that's what it was in the animated series. But a little less stupid.
You see his origins in the animated series? Mm.
Yeah. But usually he's an actor who gets disfigured and becomes Clayman.
Okay.
Somehow. Clayman.
Clayman.
John Clayman.
My name is Peter Clayman. Actor on the silver screen.
Clayface is not in this book. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
To burst your bubble on that. He does show up quite often, though. Not as often as I'd like. You know, there's a lot of villains that, like, should be in things more instead of just Joker and Riddler all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Clayface and Man-Bat.
Or Joker and... Oh, Man-Bat, yeah.
Man-Bat, he's cool.
I thought he was in the All-Star one, but it was just a regular bat.
It was just a regular bat.
That looked very scary.
Yeah. You know the lizard in Spider-Man?
Yeah.
But a bat.
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah. But he doesn't have... He has both arms.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like a toe.
Yeah. Something like that.
Like, well, bats have 3 toes.
Oh.
Does he turn into it, or is it like he's always the Man-Bat?
He can turn into it.
Okay.
Like, kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde type thing.
Or okay.
Like, he can't control it.
Sure.
I think sometimes he can. I think now he's, like, with it. You know, he's like, I can do it. I can control it. When he becomes Man-Bat, he's usually just a monster.
He's just, like, real strong, right? He can fly. That's, like, his deal.
Yeah. I mean, he's like a giant bat.
Is he, like, muscly?
Yeah,
a big muscly bat?
Yeah.
Also, all my knowledge
And
comes from the
claws.
Lego games, so...
He's also in the animated series.
Is he?
Everyone's in the animated series.
Okay.
So if you want to learn about whoever, you just ask me and I'll watch it. Because Those episodes are so good. The Man Bat episode, I think, is the first episode of the show, and it's really great. That show also made Mr. Freeze a character, and not just like, I'm gonna freeze Gotham. He like in there
he's got a wife. And
that's where the cartoon comes up with that.
Okay. So then the movie with
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, they just stole.
They based it off of that.
Yes.
Is there a comic with a similar storyline or?
Yeah, like now they brought that into continuity and everything. Occasionally they'll like change it. Sometimes like, I think the most recent retcon of his origin was he didn't have a wife named Nora who was like frozen because she was dying. It was like some old film actress who he was like in love with or something, who has this disease and is frozen and is dying, and he also killed his mom or something, like he threw her in the frozen water of a... It's not important.
Okay.
Batman the Cult.
Yes, let's finally get into this.
Batman the Cult is... This is unlike any Batman story I've ever read in my entire life.
In a good way?
In the best way possible.
Okay, so it's like the polar opposite of the All-Star.
Yes.
Okay.
Batman the Cult is so gross.
Okay.
And not in like, I don't want to read this, but just like the things Batman goes through in this book are like, oh my god.
But Batman himself is not like a terrible person.
Well, no, he's not a terrible person, but he does some questionable things, but it's also not because he wants to. He can't control it. So let's get into it.
Okay, so off the bat, just observations. The art looks a lot like Sandman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Batman
Very
the Cult.
It's like painted. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah. So Batman the Cult starts off with a little boy Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Going up to like he's running through Wayne Manor. And it's clearly a dream. So little boy Bruce Wayne is in this like dream-like version of Wayne Manor, which is like this horrible...
It's like red.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it's like a scary version of everything. And he makes his way down to the Batcave, and there's like the Joker, like a Jack-in-the-Box, springs up from the trap door.
Joker in the box.
Joker in the box.
Okay.
And
he looks very silly.
He does. He also has dynamite strapped to him.
Okay.
And little boy Bruce Wayne is like, oh God! You know? And the Joker's like, I'm gonna blow up everything. And then little boy Bruce Wayne morphs into adult Batman right here.
Okay.
And he has an axe, and he axes the Joker to death.
Whoa.
And then he wakes up in the sewer, and he's chained, covered in blood, completely confused and delirious. Like the Gotham sewers.
Okay. Is that fire next to him?
Yes. So immediately you're like, what happened?
You're like, oh, okay.
Like Batman's having these dreams.
Going on.
Yeah. Batman's having these dreams of killing the Joker, and he's chained up with like these ugly people around him, like, and they're homeless.
Is that like a guilt dream? Or we'll get into it, or is it just like an opening? Like, does it have significance to the rest of the story, or is
kind of, yeah. We'll get into it. So Batman wakes up. He's completely confused. He's been.
I mean, I would be too.
Yes. He's been in the sewers chained up by this cult of homeless people led by this guy, Deacon Blackfire, who is like a religious zealot, who's like trying to form an army of all the homeless people in Gotham and like take over in the name of like God.
Okay.
Because he had like this religious experience where I think he like
Native American.
Yeah.
Is he?
I think he is like a Native American.
Okay, that's cool.
And I think he like died or was tortured, and then he was like reborn. You know, and he was like, I need to save the world. And he kidnapped Batman with the help of the homeless people. And Batman's been down there for a long time. Like, Batman hasn't... It's not like he wakes up and he's like, oh, where am I? It's more like, oh, I'm here still?
Yeah, okay.
So Batman's been...
He's, like, eating rats.
Yeah. Again, Batman is eating rats, and, like, they're feeding him these, like, gross foods. And he's being drugged with, like, psychedelics.
It sounds like new ways to die.
Yeah. So Batman's being pumped with like psychedelic drugs, which could be why his dreams are so crazy. You also see above the surface Jim Gordon.
Okay.
And Jim Gordon's like, where is Batman? And in fact, everyone in Gotham's like, where is Batman? There hasn't been a Batman sighting in a while, and the homeless population is growing. And of course, the homeless people are committing more crimes. So crime is at like an all-time high, and there's no Batman, but there's still Robin.
Oh, okay.
And this is Jason Todd Robin before he was killed. in the desert by the Joker.
Right, in
In
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot
Or it's
that
like
the
Iraq or
Joker's a
something.
part of the
Yeah,
Taliban. Yeah.
Yeah, Joker was part of the Taliban.
That's crazy.
This was like a few years before that.
Was that written by the guy...
This was written by the same guy who wrote that, actually.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Jim Starlin.
Is that the one that you were telling me you really liked, but it's like off the rails?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
We
one-
should talk about that.
We
too.
should.
Okay.
That one is crazy.
So Jason Todd's alive.
So Jason Todd is alive. Also, here's Deacon Blackfire. He's jacked as hell.
He is jacked.
And yeah, here's the food they're feeding Batman. It's
It's
like
green.
green mush. And Batman's like, oh god, I know it's like killing me or it's like drugged or something, but I have to eat it. You
My
know?
weakness is green.
That's why I hate Green Lantern
Yeah.
so much. Deacon Blackfire is like, you are gonna be my warrior. Like,
Yeah.
I have my army of homeless people, and I just need to convince you to help me. So I'm gonna like drug you.
He's like, I'm not homeless, I'm rich.
Yeah, he's like, I will pay your bills, man.
Yeah.
You can get out of the sewers. And Robin and like Jim Gordon are trying to figure out where Batman is. It's kind of cool seeing Jason Todd do things without Batman.
Is he an adult or is he still a kid?
He's still a kid. He's
Okay.
like 16. Like all Robins are like 12 to 16.
They don't make it past.
Yeah, they either die,
Yeah.
they either die or become like another
Yeah.
superhero, like Nightwing or something. And Jason Todd, I don't know if we ever talked about Jason Todd. Dick Grayson was a very like lighthearted kid, except for this where he's killing Green Lantern.
Right.
And stuff. Jason Todd is he was kind of like a homeless kid. His parents or his dad was involved with Two-Face, I think, and his dad died, and he was like homeless, and he met Batman because he was stealing the wheels off the Batmobile.
Yes, okay.
And Batman was like, I'm gonna kidnap you. Like, I'm gonna adopt you.
You told me about this. So he's like, you said he's the only Robin that he actually adopts. Right?
No, that's
Oh.
Tim Drake.
Oh, okay. Never
Jason
mind.
was right before Tim Drake, and Jason is a very like rageful and angry
Okay.
young man. And Batman's like, I want to help him. You know, I want to like make sure.
But
he doesn't-
Jason Todd is like good. He's like
Yeah. Like he might go a little overboard sometimes when he's fighting people.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's been times where he's like broken bones and like crippled people.
But so is Batman.
Well, so is Batman,
so-
but Batman's like, you're 12, you shouldn't do that, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, just to show some of the art and how, like,
That
gross
looks cool.
and, like, gritty it is. This woman, I don't know if I remember.
It's a
what
lot of
happened to her.
texture. It's
There
very
is.
interesting.
There's, like, a lot of, like, splatter of random colors on, like,
It's
Batman's
very
face.
different from like Batman Year One.
It is. Yeah. Deacon Blackfire is trying to, like, show Batman the way of God
Okay.
or something. And of course, he is feeding Batman like psychedelics, so he sees Deacon Blackfire turn into like this monster. This book is just Batman tripping balls. There's also this totem of Deacon Blackfire, which kind of looks like a dick. And because Batman's tripping, you see like the eyes glow. When I was reading this, I was like, is Batman gonna go like be bad? Is Batman gonna like join Deacon Blackfire? Because there's parts where Batman's like, yes, show me the light. But then, of course, he doesn't. Because he's Batman, he has to
So this is the same writer as the guy who
kill Robin.
who said that all Batmans are in the same universe.
What?
Didn't you say that there's a writer who combined all the Batmans into one universe, and he said that
That's like
he's just
Grant
on
Morrison.
drugs? That's not the same guy.
Not the same guy.
Okay, I was
His
gonna
Batman
say,
will also
'cause-
do drugs.
I was gonna say that guy likes to see Batman
Yeah.
on drugs.
Batman has another dream sequence.
Okay,
Where
yeah.
Two-Face shows up and Batman just kills him with like a Uzi.
Okay.
Batman wakes up and he's like, "Oh, these dreams are starting to feel natural." Like,
Very
yeah.
psychedelic. Okay.
Very psychedelic.
He's starting to.
He's starting to like really become a monster, and eventually, Deacon Blackfire will let the homeless people and take Batman out to like commit crimes.
Okay.
And you'll actually see Batman kill people.
Oh.
But like he's not in his right mind. But you will see him like act like he wakes up after the dream of killing Two-Face, and he's in a room of dead bodies,
Oh.
and it's like, oh my god.
So he's like, did he kill someone when he was killing the Joker too?
Maybe. Well,
Or was
I don't know.
that
Maybe. Because they showed him like being chained up after.
Sure,
But this is
yeah.
like he wakes up and he's
Yeah.
in this room where there's just dead people. Robin somehow figures out, or I think he follows some homeless people down to the sewers, and he's like, Batman must be down here. Oh, but first, when Batman like kills a bunch of people,
Whoa.
he eventually escapes
Okay.
the homeless people, and he's like, not only is he starving and delusional and still kind of tripping, but he has like no sense of reality
Okay.
anymore. He has like no idea what's going on. He's like breaking into like delis to steal food, and he's like hiding in the. There's this part where he's like hiding in the park, like in a bush, and a couple on a picnic, just to have a nice time.
yeah, right.
And Batman jumps out of the bush and is like, ah! And steals their picnic.
Give me your sandwiches.
Yeah, he steals their food. Yeah,
He's like a Yogi Bear.
yeah, here he is like breaking into the deli.
Okay.
And it's like paralleled with like a caveman
Man, he's
beating up.
just munching on a
He
sausage.
is, man. There's this really cool scene where it's
Some
like Batman,
pepperoni.
like,
It's like melting.
yeah,
That's horrific.
just to show like
But
that's how he
cool.
feels. He
Hmm.
feels like his like skin is melting off the bones.
Is he on like PCP? Like, what is this? Is this
I
like
don't-
similar to the
I have
the
no idea.
Scarecrow stuff, or
It's like worse.
Hmm.
Cause like that, you just see your worst fears. This
Right,
is like
yeah.
you are gone. Like you are in a new reality. Here he is like screaming, "Run away!" from the picnic people, and he's like trying to eat stuff, but his
an
body,
egg, a raw egg?
yeah, he's
Mm.
like he can't stomach anything because he's been fed like mush and
Yeah.
nothing for like I think it was weeks he was down there. But he's like, my body can digest eggs or something.
This is like liquid.
I guess.
I don't know.
So
Okay.
he eats that just for some like protein or something.
Sure.
You
Does
see,
he eat the shell?
I guess so.
Okay.
Some texture.
Yeah.
You see Robin in incognito mode here,
Okay.
where he's just like Raphael from the Ninja Turtles
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
He sneaks down into the sewer. He's like, okay, I gotta find Batman. This book is just full of like horrific and crazy imagery, and Batman just being like tortured and like put through the ringer in terms of like his morals, breaking his rules of no killing and everything. And Deacon Blackfire is like incredibly intelligent, but also kind of crazy. But he is like, I'm doing this for the betterment of the world.
Yeah.
We all need to see what I've seen.
Okay. So
You
he's
know?
got his own like ideals. He's
Exactly.
trying to push.
Eventually,
I like that. I like when villains.
yeah,
have,
like you're reading this and
when
you're
they
like,
believe what they're doing is
yeah.
for the betterment of.
And when
of the world.
when you're like reading this, you're like, okay, I see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He's also crazy though,
It's
so
like
I
a
don't know.
Thanos type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the rats.
Ooh,
Batman's
yeah.
favorites.
Yeah. He's munching on.
Yeah.
them.
Robin. Here's Robin swimming with the rats.
There's a page of just black panels with text over it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And this page is like.
So creative.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
it
cool.
because
I like it,
it's
yeah.
Robin like enters this pitch black room
Mm-hmm.
and
It's like not even we know what's going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Robin's just like, Batman! Batman! And eventually Batman's like, yes. And Robin's just like, where are you? Like,
Yeah.
I came to find you. And Robin gets to some light and you just see like dead bodies just like
Oof.
mountained up. And Robin's like, where are we? And Batman's like, welcome to hell, Robin. Like Batman's just
Did
completely.
Batman kill all those people?
I don't
Or
think
that's
so.
just where they throw bodies?
This is just where they throw bodies.
Okay.
And Batman's just like, welcome to hell, which is like the most haunting
Yeah.
image ever. Also, look at how freaking jacked Robin's
He's
legs are.
so jacked. I thought he wore pants. Which one?
That's the third one.
Ah,
Yeah, after this one dies.
poor kid. He's
Tim-
got to walk through the sewers without pants on.
I know, it's horrible. Deacon Blackfire releases all the homeless people into the streets of Gotham, so there's like riots and stuff. The homeless people are just beating up whoever they can find on the street, killing people. And Robin is like, Batman, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here and help Gotham because it is like, it's a war zone. Jim Gordon is like, I have no idea what to do. These are just people talking, like different different Gotham folk
Yeah, okay,
talking
sure.
on the news, like, the city's gone to hell, it's
very
crazy.
diverse.
Yeah.
But in a weird way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, Jim Gordon's smoking like a fiend.
Mm.
My favorite Jim Gordon character.
Is it?
Trope. Yeah, he's trope. He's
Oh,
like
no, this isn't your favorite Jim Gordon? Is he up there?
He's all right. This Jim Gordon's kind of at like his wit's end. He's like, I don't know what to do. There's no Batman, and now Robin's gone too. And I think Jim Gordon goes on like he makes a public announcement. He's like, stay inside. Things are getting really bad out here.
Sets a curfew.
Yeah, something like that. Batman and Robin stumble upon Deacon Blackfire bathing in blood.
Mm. Is that how he stays young?
I think so. It's like his fountain of youth. And he sees Batman and Robin. He's like, get them! So Batman and Robin are escaping the sewer tunnels.
Yeah.
And of course, Deacon Blackfire has like a bunch of people coming after him, and this is where you get a little bit of Jason Todd's like crazy side.
Okay.
Where he's like excited to fight people. That's the thing. Like Dick Grayson's like, all right, I'm Robin, so I gotta fight.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason's like, oh, I'm
It's
always
like an obligation for Dick Grayson, but for
yeah,
Jason
for
Todd,
Jason it's
he's
like pleasure.
Yeah, okay.
He's like always. So he sees these guys. He's like, let's party, which I think is also the same thing he says before he dies. But anyway,
he's just beating up homeless people.
yeah, like Batman is so like
he's a bat.
he's got a bat. Like, Jason is beating the shit out of people. He is Batman.
Yeah,
I was gonna say purposes.
Batman's like,
now.
well, it is a bat.
Because Batman's
so
so like weak and feeble right now.
Yeah.
But they're like surrounded, and Batman's about to get stabbed. Or no, they like grab Jason, and Jason's like, he's like, help me!
Oh no!
And
They're so
Batman
gross
like
looking.
this. I love this how the colors just fade to red.
Yeah.
And Batman just gets angry, and he's just like rage, and he just beats the hell out of all these people. And even Robin's like, oh my god, I've never seen. And then there's this awesome.
That is pretty cool. He looks jacked.
He looks freaking jacked. And then he like snaps out of it. You see the little bubbles.
That's kind of
and
cute.
I know. In this book of like horror,
Yeah.
these bubbles signify Batman's done tripping or done being rage man.
Rage man.
Eventually, Batman and Robin will escape. Luckily,
Right.
You know, I'm trying to think if Alfred's even in this book. He might be very.
Well, they're not even.
They're not even at
like,
the Batcave
Wayne
yet.
Manor or the Batcave, so
They will eventually get there. And Batman and Robin are like, okay, we got an army of crazy religious homeless people in like attacking Gotham City. Here's Deacon Blackfire, like, let there be celebration, like covered in blood.
Yeah. Okay.
And Batman and Robin are like, okay, what are we gonna do? They get back to the Batcave, and this is so cool. Freaking Batman. Oh, Batman has like another nightmare. He has like nightmares like every start of every issue in this book. I think Batman just
Starts with a nightmare.
starts with a nightmare.
Okay.
Starts with something. Batman and Robin are like, okay.
Even when he's not drugged up, he's still having nightmares.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Batman's constantly just nightmaring. Batman is like, okay.
He's probably got like PTSD from this whole thing.
Yeah, Batman is never going to be the same after this event. Like, this is not a book.
Right.
This is an event for
yeah.
Batman. It's like a war going on in Gotham. So Batman is like, all right, we're in war. Let's get the guns.
To Jason, you've been drafted to the war.
And Jason's like, oh yeah. Batman
Jason
literally
would love that.
Yeah, Batman literally gets 2 guns.
Okay.
And
okay.
Yeah, Batman's like, okay.
That's he's serious.
Yeah. And Batman's like, we don't use guns. We don't kill people. But we're gonna use guns right now with rubber bullets.
Okay. Okay.
And just because we don't use guns doesn't mean we shouldn't know how they work. They have like a little target practice, and Jason's like surprisingly good with a gun. And Batman's like,
he's kind of
yeah. Probably my favorite. There's a lot of like narration from like the news reporters on like what's going on in Gotham. You see Batman and Robin like in the movie Batman and Robin in the beginning when they're suiting up.
Yeah.
You get nothing but nipples and
yeah.
ass
Where
shots.
are their nipples?
I know. Deacon Blackfire's in like his church or like his temple of horror, and he's like, okay, let's invade, or well, let's keep invading. Let's attack like the police. I think they plan to like destroy the bridges or something, just make Gotham a complete no man's land. Which is there's a story called Batman No Man's Land where that literally does happen later on.
Is it Is there like homeless people? What is that?
It's
just someone takes
Batman
over
No
and
Man's
makes
Land
it.
is like there's a lot to it. There's this huge earthquake
Okay.
that happens in Gotham, and Gotham is destroyed. And because of that, all the villains are like, "Wow, time for new territories." And Gotham is just in such a state of like disaster, but the government is like, "Blow the bridges, like lock the Gothamites in there," because.
Isn't that what Bane does in Dark Knight Rises?
Yes. Straight up.
Okay.
Because they're like, okay, Gotham's destroyed, so the villains are going to leave.
Yeah.
Lock them in. with the civilians and the police and everybody.
So it becomes like a Mad Max kind of...
Straight up. Where
That's
when
kinda
you're
cool.
reading the book, they give you a map of the territory. So you see, like, Joker has his territory, Two-Face has a territory, like, it's all divided. The police have their own territory. And it's just like...
The police have a territory?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, civilization is completely different.
That's kind of cool.
So it's kind of like a very... Every man for themselves.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
And it's like the cops are trying to take back Gotham, and Batman's there. He's like, I gotta help, you know? And you got, like, Robin and all the other characters. I think Superman shows up, and he's like, you could use some help, Batman. And Batman's like, fuck off. I'll deal with it.
Does he hate Does he hate Superman?
No, they're like buddies. Sometimes Batman's a real prick.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on the writer.
A lot happened, though,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, what is Superman gonna do at that point?
Yeah, like rebuild Gotham.
I don't know. He probably could.
He probably could.
Yeah.
Get the Flash. He could do it in like 2 minutes.
A series where Superman's just a construction worker.
He has like his own construction team,
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah. He's like building, putting up drywall.
Super drywall.
Yeah.
So anyway, Batman the Cult. We should talk about No Man's Land eventually. Get
Okay.
more into it. It's like 5 volumes long. Like it is a big, sprawling series. But Jim Gordon gets attacked by some homeless people
Okay.
in this, and he ends up going to the hospital. And Batman is like, Jim, I'm gonna kill these people. Like he doesn't say that. He's not. Batman does not kill anyone, except for when he's under drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
Drug influence.
He doesn't
purposefully do it. But Batman's like, all right, Gordon, I'm back, and I'm going to take back Gotham. And then my favorite image out of this entire fucking book, Batman rolls up in the Bat monster truck. Like, Batman has a monster truck.
Okay.
And then freaking him and, like, this image of Batman holding this gun with goggles.
Yeah.
Just, like, running into and just shooting people with rubber bullets. Just taking back Gotham with Robin, who also has a gun and goggles. It's just awesome. They're just mowing down people in this monster truck. It's so cool. And then, of course, Batman...
Doesn't the Ben Affleck Batman wear goggles at one point?
He does in the Justice League movie.
And he's got a gun?
He does.
Is that based off of this? Or
Probably
ideas
not.
taken from this?
Maybe, but I don't know. It might just be a coincidence.
Sure.
But Batman and Robin shoot their way into Deacon Blackfire's little not subway. Eat Fresh.
Yes, I'll take a foot-long classic Italian.
Into the sewers, and him and Batman just have a complete beat down. Batman takes him to Pound Town. But not in a gay way,
Yeah,
of
okay.
course.
I mean, maybe.
And it's kind of crazy that Batman's been under so much like torture and everything, and he's still able to kick this jacked guy's ass. And I think Batman like okay, so all the homeless people are surrounding Batman and Deacon Blackfire, and Deacon Blackfire is like, "Stand by me, my faithful companions." And then the homeless people are watching him getting just beat the hell up by Batman, and they're like, "We don't trust you anymore, Deacon Black. You're a loser.
We're the children of Batman. Yeah, the sons of Batman."
And I think they like all the homeless people surround Deacon Blackfire, like stab him and kill him. They might eat him.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Batman and Robin are like, "It's all over," and they leave. And Batman's
All
like,
in a day's work.
yeah. And then Batman sets the Deacon Blackfire totem on fire, and he's like,
Oh, it's an actual totem? I thought.
Yeah, no, it's like an actual like sculpture they made.
But just in his drug dream, it was glowing and whatever.
Yeah, like in reality, it's really small.
Oh, okay.
But then in this drug infused, freaking
hallucination,
it's like this huge pillar.
Okay.
And Batman just like burns it down as Deacon Blackfire is possibly eaten by his worshippers.
Man, how come we never see Deacon Blackfire in a movie?
I have no idea.
Always the Joker and Two-Face.
This would be such
awesome.
a hardcore movie.
That would be, yeah. You could do like a heavy metal movie.
If the Batman does good and there's a sequel, do the Cult.
Mm.
This is awesome. Batman the Cult. when I read that, I was like, no way.
Yeah.
This is insane.
It's so dark.
It is so dark and crazy.
Yeah. You were saying something earlier and you kind of cut yourself off. You're like, I think Batman is like...
Oh. I don't even remember.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I like that. I feel like you cast Nick Cage as Batman.
Oh
you
my
can make
god.
an awesome heavy metal movie.
Have you heard about the
with
Nick
this.
Cage Superman?
No, what?
They were going to make a movie in the 90s starring Nicolas Cage as Superman.
That would be so cool.
Where he was going to die and then be reborn.
Okay.
And fight like a giant spider, and Kevin Smith was going to direct it.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
That would be awesome.
At first it was like, I think Tim Burton was going to direct it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no. And then Kevin Smith was hired, and he was like, no.
Why?
I don't know. There's like test footage.
Like
Like,
the script is bad.
it has to be.
Yeah.
But there's like costumes and stuff for
Really?
it. I'll try to find them.
I feel like Nick Cage is not a Superman.
No. Not at all. Yeah, there's...
Oh, that looks awful.
Yeah,
Why
there
does
was-
his suit look like
I
that?
have no idea. But there was this costume, and then this one, which is a little
Okay,
better.
that looks better. But still,
Yeah.
why does he have like,
Abs.
and also like a loincloth?
Oh my god, I've never
Or like a
noticed.
crotch guard.
Yeah. It's not even like the Superman underwear.
No.
It's just like his
it's just
crotch.
over his dick.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That is so...
That doesn't look so bad.
It doesn't.
though.
Like, honestly,
It's very shiny.
this
but
top part, it's okay.
Yeah.
But man, I've never noticed that.
I don't like Nick Cage with long hair.
No?
I mean, he looks too...
Yeah.
I don't know. He looks too
He looks
homeless
so-
to be Superman.
He does. At this
Superman,
time...
I feel like should look clean.
Yeah. Me too. I never like when Superman has, like, stubble.
Yeah.
I feel like Superman should always be clean
Should be, like,
shaven
yeah.
and, like, the handsomest man alive.
Wait, is his hair super? Does he have super hair?
I think so.
So does he need like
Like,
something special to
when
like...
Superman shaves,
Yeah.
he uses his heat vision on, like,
Does
the
he?
glass, and it, like, reflects.
Wait, okay. So he shoots his lasers through his glasses and they break, but he shoots it into a mirror and it bounces back.
Yeah. Well, that was Frank Miller who did that.
Okay.
Or maybe he has some Kryptonian glass or something. I don't know.
He's got a Kryptonian razor.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I won't spend too much time on this one, even though it's very good.
Okay.
Batman Ego and Other Tales.
He looks very cartoony.
Yeah, this is by Darwin Cook, written and drawn by Darwin Cook, who I love.
Okay.
And his art is very 50s. Like, when I look at it, I'm like, this just looks like the 1950s. It's very cartoony, but it's also, like, it could be dark and kind of, like, scary in some
Sure.
ways. There's a lot of different stories in this book. Some have to do with Catwoman. Most of them have to do with Batman. And they're just like small stories. But the main one, Ego, the director of the Batman, Matt Reeves, said that they're going to be using some of this book in the movie,
Okay.
which I find very interesting because this book is very much. It's not very action based. It's more about the mind of Batman.
Yeah,
What
okay.
possesses him to put on the costume, you know? To which, like, the villain of this book is Batman. And
his own hubris.
Exactly. Like, Batman gets home after a horrible, like, this guy... Batman's chasing this guy who used to work for the Joker. And the guy's like, the Joker, he was going to kill my family because I, like, ratted him out. So I had to kill my family before he did.
Oh.
And Batman's like, oh my god. And then Batman gets home after that. And the Bat computer flashes. And on the screen is Batman.
Oh.
And Batman is like, oh, Bruce Wayne, you are going crazy. And this
he's got some
yeah, I love that. I
he
think
almost
that's
looks like Venom.
he does.
Like,
I think that is such an
That's
like
kind of cool.
It is just an insane
Whoa.
like battle in Bruce Wayne's mind.
Yeah.
Of like, is there a need for Batman? And if there's a need for Batman, is there also a need for Bruce Wayne? You know? So it's just a book of, like, Batman, you know, figuring out if this double life is really worth it. Because he spends most of his time being Batman anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't let go of being Bruce Wayne. Because if you do that, then in a way you let go of your family.
His humanity.
His
too,
humanity.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of flashbacks of, like, on Christmas... Bruce, you get some like happy flashbacks of Christmas Some happy flashbacks of Bruce Wayne being a kid
Mm-hmm.
with his parents still alive, and on Christmas you see his dad get the pearls for his mom,
Yeah.
which of course will be the reason they die, or at least what the
Sometimes.
burglar wanted.
Yeah.
I always love like scenes of Bruce Wayne and his dad. Like they don't have to be anything spectacular, but just like reinforcing why why Bruce cares so much, and not just because that's his dad.
Right.
You know, make
It's
Thomas
like he
Wayne a
actually
character.
has a relationship
you know?
with his parents.
Like sometimes Thomas Wayne he's running for mayor of Gotham, which is actually going to be in the new movie,
okay.
and he's
Are
actually
they doing the origin story in the movie?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Just
Um,
flashbacks or
I
something.
guess,
okay.
yeah. But here, I believe it's here. No. But there is some, I think it's the Batman The Long Halloween, or Little Boy Bruce Wayne, I think it is on Christmas. Carmine Falcone, you remember I brought him up earlier. When Bruce was a little boy, Carmine Falcone was like 20s or something. He wasn't like head of the mob. His dad was Vincent Falcone, I believe. And Vincent Falcone brings his son Carmine, who was shot, to Thomas Wayne for surgery, because Thomas Wayne is a surgeon.
Okay.
And
Oh, he is.
he is. So that also in Dark Knight Returns, when he's like, "This isn't a mud pit; it's an operating table, and I'm the surgeon." You could say that's a callback to his father.
Sure.
So Falcone brings his son Carmine to Thomas Wayne for surgery to save his life, and Thomas is like, "You're corrupt. You're the head of the mob. There's no reason I should save you except for the fact that I'm a surgeon, and that it's my duty to help people no matter what." So even little Bruce Wayne is like, "I don't know if that's the right thing to do, Dad." And Thomas Wayne is like, "But like I have to. I can't let a man die." You know. And Thomas Wayne does save his life for only Carmine to become the next head of the mob. In this, there is something kind of like that where his dad and him go on Christmas Eve. Someone calls them and is like, "My dad or something is sick, and you gotta like come do surgery or something on him."
Yeah.
And they get there, and Thomas can't help the guy. So on Christmas Eve, Bruce and his father see this man die, and Bruce on the drive home is like, "Are you and Mom gonna die one day?" And Thomas Wayne is like, "No, we're always gonna be together." And that was
What?
the last Christmas before his parents do end up dying.
He's like, no, we're immortal.
"We're immortal." Well, he's like 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yeah. So he kind of gets some of his morals from his dad too.
Yes. Which I
Is
really
this
like.
Actually, Batman. There's like this monster Batman. Is this just?
I
in
think
his
it's all in
head?
his mind.
Okay.
Bruce, maybe he's having a dream.
And there's like some
Maybe he's under drugs by
similarities
Deacon
between-
Blackfire.
Yeah. Similarities between himself and the Joker and stuff in here. It's kind of interesting. I really like his hands.
Yeah.
They're like claws.
I think the Batman, monster is like, because of you, there's so many villains. You created the Joker. You created whatever, If you just like didn't be like if you never became me, then there wouldn't be the dinosaur. If you never became Batman, then there wouldn't be a Joker. Then there wouldn't be maybe
It's like he's the solution, but also
the problem.
The problem, yeah.
You create everything you have to stop, and then you won't even kill them. You'll just lock them away until later. That's another story.
I was gonna say the art style switches like
Yeah.
halfway through this book. Well, like it's
still the
like
same
lines
art,
are
but it's
thicker.
different. Yeah,
It's like a little different.
But yeah, Batman Ego is a nice, short and sweet. Like Andrew.
Is it like
A nice, short and sweet story. And in this collected version, there's all these different stories you're looking through, which, they're short. And
is it self-contained or is this like kind of lead into some other things?
I think it's it is pretty self-contained, but you could say that it could be in continuity.
Okay.
It could just be another day in Batman's life. Darwin Cook, one of my favorite, he just understands the characters that he writes for. He did this book, DC The New Frontier, which is like the Justice League and all the DC characters during like the 50s, because his art style is very reminiscent of the 50s. And he knows how to like cement a book in a certain time period. He really knows how to make it feel
Sure.
like he conveys exactly what he wants to. Sadly, Darwin Cook is dead. He did die a few years ago. I think
Did he do
2016.
more stuff? Or is this like his big?
I think his big thing's definitely New Frontier,
Okay.
which is it's over there. We should talk about that one day.
Okay.
Because it is like all these books combined in length. It is like I call it the Bible of DC Comics, just because it's like everything you need to know about every
Batman,
character. Like this is like pretty much everything you need to know about Batman.
Okay.
Even though like Killer Croc and Poison Ivy don't show up.
Yeah, wait, where's Killer Croc? We haven't seen him once.
I know.
Is he in the Detective Comics Batman 20?
I don't even know.
I mean, probably, right? At some point.
I don't know if
like
he's even
80
in
years,
this book.
He's got to be in it.
Probably somewhere. I think he might appear in this book for a small amount of time. This is...
Because I've never seen Killer Croc in a comic.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I've seen him in the Lego game and in the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Like, is his face look dumb like in the Suicide Squad? Or is it more crocodile-like?
The thing is, Killer Croc isn't a crocodile.
Okay.
He's a man with a disease. So...
Oh, so that's mean.
Yeah, no, straight up. They call it Killer Croc. They're horrible.
I mean, he's
to
like
him.
a murderer.
Well, yeah.
Whatever, right?
I'm pretty sure, like, when he was a kid, he had the disease, and some bullies made fun of him, so he ate him or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like really
So he's like a
messed up
cannibal.
guy. Yeah.
Does he have a tail?
No.
Can he swim?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay.
The thing is, some writers really playing.
He's a crocodile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some writers like he is a crocodile.
Yeah, yeah.
And other writers like he's a guy.
Sure.
I like when he's a guy. You know, just with a disease, I think it's more like compelling.
Sure.
You know, he's not just like some rageful monster. He's just a rageful man.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Killer Croc. I can't think of any stories that he's like the main villain of, but he always shows up and stuff. He shows up in Batman Hush, which is also by Jim Lee, drawn by Jim Lee. I can show you that later.
Okay.
Where he looks like a big crocodile man. He shows up in Batman Earth 1, which is like a... I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
It's good, but
Yeah.
it's confusing with... Well, the comics, how could they be confusing?
Yeah.
There's all these different time periods and publications and reboots.
Okay, so the Killer Croc, right? When he's more crocodile, right? So he's a guy, a cannibal, he's killed people, and he has the physical attributes of an animal. Right? Is that correct?
Okay, well...
No, okay, is that correct? To some degree.
When he's a man, yeah.
So, he essentially...
Is a crocodile man.
Right, but Killer Croc could be a skinwalker.
Sure. Sure, man. if that's the narrative you want to spin in your
If he
head.
could choose to be a crocodile.
Yeah. Well, he
Or a
doesn't
man.
choose it.
Or like a horse or a frog.
He can't choose it. He didn't wake up one day and like, take form of crocodile.
Yeah.
No. He was like born with a disease that made him ugly. And then people were like, you look like a crocodile. So he became a criminal.
So he's like...
And he's jacked. Like, he just works out and he's jacked
Okay,
and stuff. And
okay.
he, like, filed his teeth down. He really plays into the crocodile stuff. Like, after they called him a crocodile, he plays
He's like,
into
I guess I'll be a crocodile.
Yeah, but he's not, like... I don't think he's, like...
He didn't choose it.
No.
It's a burden, not
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
So we've got one more.
Yes.
Why is the bee so small on that Batman title cover?
I never noticed that. That's great.
The bee is tiny and Batman.
It's like, Batman.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
The A is huge.
It is, man. There's ATM.
Yeah.
Oh, to show he's rich.
Yeah, exactly.
And the N is really big. The
Yeah.
B and the A here are really small.
Batman.
Oh, man. I grabbed the wrong volume.
The City of Owls.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's actually good that I did get that. I'll run over here really
Is he
quick.
holding an egg?
No.
Okay. Are you sure?
Oh, man. I keep grabbing the wrong volume.
Batman likes to eat raw eggs.
Batman Court of Owls.
Okay. The bee is small in that one too.
Oh, man.
It's the same font, just different colors.
It is. I mean, it is also the same run.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
For like 10 volumes, it'll be this.
Okay.
So after the Flash ran back in time,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
saved his mother,
Yeah.
and then caused a reboot in DC Comics. The New 52 was born.
Yes,
We've
okay.
talked about that. And this is the first volume in New 52 for Batman. So, in the New 52, it's really confusing because some characters you need to forget about everything about them. Like Aquaman and, like, I don't know, certain, like Wonder Woman, forget about everything with that character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, keep the basics you know. Superman, forget about everything you know. Green Lantern and Batman, it all happened. So everything,
Okay.
yeah, which makes it really confusing because they say that all these characters have been around for about 5 years. So if you're telling me Batman's had 20 Robins and like 400 villains in 5 years, you're lying to me because there's no possible way. So this comes out,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So just clear your brain.
Got it. It's already clear.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because you really don't need to know. You just need to know Batman fights villains and he has some Robins. That's the basics.
Okay, so all the Robins and stuff, that's like
that all
in
happened.
this. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
There was Dick Grayson became Nightwing. Jason Todd died.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Todd does come back to life though, and becomes Red Hood.
Okay.
He is
Lazarus Pit.
yeah.
Okay.
Or punching reality.
Oh right, you told me. Yeah,
Superboy punches
Reality.
Superboy. Let's not talk about that though.
Yeah, okay.
And see, this is why this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because if you forget about everything in DC continuity, then you forget about Superboy punching reality and bringing Jason Todd back to life.
Yeah.
So how is he back to life here if it was never punched in reality? Don't think about it too hard because the writers sure did not. But Batman Court of Owls is written by Scott Snyder with art by Greg Capullo, who will eventually draw Spawn.
Okay.
I think he drew Spawn before this. His art is awesome. It's great.
The T-Rex is back.
Yeah, every time you see anytime an artist is like, I'm gonna draw the Batcave, they're always gonna draw that T-Rex. I think that's the most
Like,
iconic part of the Batcave.
Why pass up an opportunity to draw a dinosaur?
I know.
Yeah,
That'd be the dumbest idea ever.
exactly.
So,
Dinosaurs might be the coolest thing to ever draw.
might be.
They
You're
are.
right.
My bad. I shouldn't have spoken so carelessly.
I know. So, Scott,
I like it though. This art style is very interesting.
yeah. This, for my money,
Mm-hmm.
Scott Snyder's run on Batman is probably one of my favorites.
I thought you didn't like the New 52.
I kind of don't.
Okay.
The thing is, Batman, great in the New 52. Superman, horrible in the New
Okay.
52. You gotta pick and choose.
So, okay.
Green Lantern was good. Wonder Woman was good. Aquaman was better than he's been ever. The Flash was good. You know, if you like clear your mind of everything you know about certain characters and you just accept things are different,
Whoa.
then you get here's Killer Croc. Here he is right
Here he
here.
is. He's big.
He is.
That is not just a guy with a skin disease, okay?
Well, the thing with New 52 is they could rewrite origins and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So maybe he is a crocodile. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so I know Killer Croc. That looks like Scarecrow there.
Yeah.
He looks cool.
Okay, let's
Two-Face.
start from the very beginning.
Okay.
So this
okay.
book starts and with some narration from Batman.
Yeah.
Who's like, in Gotham, there's the Gotham Gazette, which is the newspaper, and they have this like article called Gotham Is, where certain writers or journalists or just citizens will write like Gotham is, and then insert whatever they want to write. Like Gotham is crime ridden, or
Yeah.
Gotham is family, or Gotham is like Batman. And Batman says, those people are my favorite. The reason I love Scott Snyder's Batman is because this Batman has a personality. He's not like a huge dick to Alfred. He still is. But he cares about Alfred. Alfred and his relationship is great. It's very father-son. And so Batman is in Arkham Asylum where there's a prison break.
Yeah.
And so you got Scarecrow, Two-Face, the Riddler.
Oh, that's the Riddler. Is he bald?
He is bald and he
Is he
has
always
like
bald?
no. And he has
Okay.
question marks like in his head,
Yeah.
like tattooed. Killer Croc, this is Professor Pig.
Okay. I've never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Freeze.
He's not a pig, though.
No, he's just a guy.
So, like, what's the deal with that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay,
He's-
wait. Go back. You have to go back.
Okay.
I have more questions. Okay. Who's that?
I think that's the Flamingo.
Okay. Also not a flamingo.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's that?
This guy, I have no idea.
Skullface.
Skullman.
Skullman. He's got a bowl cut.
He does. I have no idea who that
He
is.
looks lame. Maybe it's just a guy.
Clayface is here.
Oh, he is.
For a
He's
second.
very clay.
There's this big fat
That's like
guy.
what big fat. Listen, fat.
Yeah. This is just Batman beating up all the
Sumo.
villains.
Okay. So, when I see that Clayface,
Yeah.
that's what I think of.
Yes.
When
This
you
is like
say
modern
Clayface.
Clayface.
Oh, he's punching the guy with the bowl cut.
Yeah, man. This is just Batman beating up everyone.
Mm.
So while Batman's fighting, the Joker emerges from the shadows.
Okay.
And teams up
Was
with
he
Batman.
not in prison?
No.
Okay.
And Joker and Batman team up and fight all the villains. And it's like, what? Why? And then eventually Batman leaves Arkham Asylum, puts all the criminals back. And Jim Gordon is, of course, smoking a ciggy on top of the rooftop.
Yeah.
And Gordon's like, so I heard you fought alongside the Joker. Tell me that's not true. And Batman's like, of course not. That's ridiculous.
Liar.
And Batman gets back to the Batcave. The dinosaur is here, of course. And Batman's just like on the computer, and then the Joker shows up next to him, and then it's like a face mask thing, and it's Dick Grayson, who is like undercover as a Joker or whatever. At this point, Dick Grayson is Nightwing.
Okay, what is this like Mission Impossible face swapping technology? Do they ever use it again?
They use it previously.
Okay.
Before the New 52, in a book also written by Scott Snyder.
So he likes that. He's like, that's his thing.
He created it.
Okay,
he was like,
cool.
I like it.
Yeah. I like it too. That's kind of
yeah,
cool.
it's cool. And so Dick Grayson is Nightwing at this point.
Okay.
He's about 20. But you also get Tim Drake, who's the third Robin. He's here. And Damian Wayne, who's also here. At this point,
so tiny.
He is. He's like 10. At this point, Damian is around. So all the Robins, everything, all that happened. And they're at like a big conference.
Okay.
Bruce Wayne is holding like a big public event where he's like, I'm going to rebuild Gotham City and make it what my parents wanted it to be. And Scott Snyder does a great job making Bruce and Batman two different characters.
Okay.
You know, so Bruce is very, he loves the public. He loves being the rich boy.
They pay his bills.
Exactly. Bruce. Oh, Vicky Vale shows up, of course. Here she is. Not as...
She looks different.
Yeah, not as hot as Jim Lee's. She's also not as naked. But she introduces Bruce to this guy, Lincoln March, who's another rich guy. And Lincoln March is like, we should team up and like help Gotham get together. I think he has something to do with the Gotham Orphanage.
Okay.
So...
Bruce.
Yeah. So at this... cocktail party or whatever, Gordon gets a call from the police. Gordon's also there because he's commissioner.
Sure. Everyone's there.
He gets a call that there was a murder.
Oh,
and of course Batman goes to the murder, and it's this guy who's been like stabbed 1,000,000 times into the wall.
Boy, that's like some seven.
Seven, yeah. It is very like that.
Very graphic.
It is. So Batman shows up and is like, oh, what is this? What happened here? And
which of the deadly sins is this one?
Yeah. And so Harvey Bullock, who is another cop, he's like, this guy was murdered, Batman.
Is that what he sounds like?
That's how he sounds in my mind.
Breaking news, there's been a murder.
The knives have like like a design of an owl on them.
Okay.
And Batman's like, Batman also notices some gasoline, and he like lights it on fire, and it says Bruce Wayne will die tomorrow.
Isn't the owl
a villain?
A villain in Daredevil?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and Batman's kind of Daredevil-ish.
Yeah, so there's some owls coming.
So interesting.
So
owl noises.
Yeah. So Bruce Wayne will die tomorrow.
Okay.
To which Bruce Wayne says, or
No.
thinks, no, that's not gonna happen.
You're right.
And of course, the next issue starts with, "Oh my goodness, Bruce Wayne gets thrown through a window. How did we get here? Let's go back. Let's
You're
go
probably
back."
wondering how I got myself
Exactly.
in this situation.
There's a lot of just cool imagery of Batman doing stuff.
He's got
here he's riding on a motorcycle, like on the train tracks. That's pretty wild. There's a lot of cool technology Batman has.
Yeah, I noticed that.
In
It's
this, like Gordon.
It's almost like Stark
Yeah.
technology.
Which makes sense because Batman's also rich.
Yeah, I mean
And if he has Lucius Fox too, who's also a genius, so he can make all this stuff. So Gordon's at like the autopsy of the dead guy, and because of technology, Batman can see what Gordon's seeing. And Batman and Gordon are like straight up buddies, you know, which is great. There's no like, oh, I don't trust you, Batman. They're straight up like high fiving every time they see each other.
Over this dead
guy. And Batman
this
noticed
is no longer a crime scene.
Yeah.
This is a
this is an autopsy table. How many times can we bring that joke back? So Batman finds in the guy's tooth, right? His tooth is like engraved with an owl. So there's something going on with these owls.
Have you ever watched Twin Peaks?
No.
Okay.
You've told me about it.
It's very good. You should watch it.
Okay.
But just the idea of hidden symbols and a corpse is very Twin Peaksy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's it on? Is it on like Hulu or something?
It was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
Oh,
David Lynch. It's very good.
Yeah.
The music is interesting. It's cool.
Nice. So Nightwing rolls up. Nightwing's like the main sidekick that shows up in this book.
Okay.
Because this is also pretty tied to Nightwing and his family. But you don't find that out until later.
Okay.
So Nightwing and Batman, they have this conversation about the Court of Owls. And Batman's pretty much like, the Court of Owls aren't real. That's just an old like folk tale that my parents and that like every family in Gotham would tell their child. Like, don't misbehave or the Court of Owls will murder you or something. Like a very Gotham folk tale. Then next day or whatever, Bruce goes to meet Lincoln March and they have like a little conversation about like Lincoln's upbringing, how he was like an orphan or something, and Bruce and Lincoln are like kind of chummy. Like you could see like a friendship kind of blossoming because Lincoln is not corrupt. He's not like a bad guy. Like he wants to actually help the city because he lives there and he loves it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this guy shows up, and this is a Talon,
the
assassin for the Court of Owls, and he stabs Lincoln, and then kicks and fights Batman, and that's why Batman
assassinates Lincoln.
Oh no! He doesn't kill Lincoln,
Okay.
but he does kick Bruce out of the window.
He's got a cool outfit. I like.
He does. I like his owl eyes.
Yeah.
His goggles. Looks very cool. And him and Bruce have like this crazy fight.
It's almost similar to what's the owl guy's name in The Watchmen?
Night Owl.
Night Owl.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that. I like it.
So Batman fights the Talon, and seemingly the Talon like falls to his death and dies or something. But of course that he didn't. He like falls on an ambulance, but then he wakes up and like kills the ambulance driver and steals the ambulance and gets away.
So there's the Talon. Is there also like the wings and
the feathers,
the eyes,
the feathers? Yeah. No, but there is other members of the Court of Owls. The Court of Owls is a very cool idea, and even though this was brought in so late in the game for like Batman comics, because this was 2012, right? Batman's been around for many years, and to do what Scott Snyder's doing is very ballsy, but it also works very well. I'll just cut to the chase. So the Court of Owls are supposedly an underground society that like range back to like the 1800s, and they've been like Gotham's, underground, like the rich people,
or
the elites, exactly, of Gotham, but they're not real. That's what people think. Turns out they are real. And Bruce is like, no way they're real because, my parents used to tell me the stories of them. And this has to be just some guy who's like, playing up the idea of the Court of Owls.
It's like, which came first? Is it like, is he a part of the Court of Owls, or is he trying to be the Court of Owls?
Exactly. Yeah. And everyone's like, how do you know they're not really real? And Batman's like, because I've looked into it. I'm the best detective ever.
Yeah, right.
And when I was young, my parents would tell me these stories all the time. So when I learned how to be a detective, that's the first thing I tried to figure out. And I found nothing,
It's like how every kid dreams of going to space. And then
Yeah.
when they become rich, they do.
Yeah, exactly.
But this
so
is-
he becomes rich and finds
Yeah.
an underground society or whatever.
Well, he doesn't find.
Well, no,
yeah,
he doesn't.
He's not that
Um,
great of a detective, is he?
But he gets like he keeps finding clues and things that suggest that they are in fact real.
Okay.
And so Bruce goes to Lincoln in the hospital,
Mhm.
and Lincoln's like, "Bruh, the Court of Owls, like, if they are real, don't." He doesn't know he's Batman, but Bruce is like, "Do you know anything about the Court of Owls?" And Lincoln's like, "My parents used to tell me the story
Yeah,
about him." Like
yeah.
everyone in Gotham knows
Sure.
of the tale of the
So
Court of
they
Owls.
would also know not to not to mess with it.
Exactly,
Don't-
like,
yeah, just let it be.
If it's not real, it's not real. But if it
Mhm.
is real, stay away. You know.
Is that a giant coin?
Yes. So Batman ends up. He
'Cause
does
sometimes
find,
he's got a giant penny in the
Yeah.
Batcave.
He does. Yeah. This is Batman finds like this guy's. I think it might be, his great grandfather, used to have like this building or something, and there was like a secret hidden room. So Batman ends up going to like a bunch of deceased Gotham, like old Gotham people's
Yeah.
like abandoned places, and finding secret rooms with armor and more Court of Owls things, suggesting that everyone in the Court of Owls, or everyone in Gotham at some point, like their lineage all leads back to the Court of Owls. And
So-
here is what they look like.
Was it always like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I actually have the mask over there. It's in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
it is.
So was it always like a crime thing, or is that more recent that they, made it bad? Like when it started.
Well,
was it, if you
it was always kind of. I think it was always supposed to be like these people are the real, like they run Gotham, but in the shadows.
So it is like it's like an evil
Yeah.
organization.
And
Okay.
it's like
But his great grandfather was a part of it.
possibly,
Okay.
but not just his, like everyone's like great ancestors, like everyone in old Gotham was probably in some way affiliated with the Court of Owls. And obviously Batman's like, no, and then Batman finds like the most recent picture of the Court of Owls was in 2006. So thinking like, oh yeah,
Yeah, it's on the box.
so thinking like maybe they are still around, and he sees this guy who was the guy that attacked
Yeah.
him. He's like, okay, maybe they are still real. And then the Talon here with an owl.
Oh,
He
he's
does.
an actual owl.
He does.
Huh.
He's been following Batman and blows up the building Batman's in. To which Batman just survives because he's Batman.
Right.
You're not gonna.
Yeah.
4 issues in and Batman dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, this is where Batman's talking about when he was younger, he looked into the Court of Owls and everything. And in Batman Year One, there's a scene where he first arrives in Gotham and he's like, he doesn't know he wants to be Batman yet. He wants to like fight crime, but he doesn't know the Bat identity.
Yeah.
So he goes into like the criminal underworld.
Wait, when he first arrives in Gotham,
Yeah.
is he not born there?
Well, no, he is, but when he goes out for training,
Oh,
and then when he comes
Okay,
back to
yeah,
Gotham,
yeah.
sorry.
Okay, no.
When he comes back to Gotham, he wants to fight crime, but he doesn't know he wants to be Batman, so he puts on a disguise and goes fights like pimps and
Okay.
prostitutes.
Yeah,
That's where Catwoman comes in. And after that, he gets like stabbed and he's bleeding really bad. And he's like in his dad's old like office.
Does he ever go to like, and this is kind of off topic, but when he's like starting out and he's wearing he just wears like a ski mask or something, and he goes out, fights people?
They don't show that. He just like wears like prosthetics on his face or something to
okay.
make him look different.
Does he ever go to like an underground like wrestling ring and try to win money to buy a car? And he says that his name's like the Human Bat.
That would be awesome. No.
Then Mr. Campbell changes his name.
Yeah. You got my name wrong. I'm the Human Bat.
Really?
That sucks.
Okay, good. Sorry.
Yeah. But Batman, in Batman Year One, he
He figures it out. Yeah.
He man, I completely lost my
No,
train of
yeah,
thought.
sorry.
God damn it.
Just joke on.
Oh,
Sorry.
he gets back home after being stabbed.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't, like, he's talking to, like, a statue of his dad or something.
Okay.
And he's like, Dad, I think I'm just going to let myself die. Like, I can't think of an idea that'll frighten these people. They're not scared of me. You know, and then a bat crashes through the window. And he's like, oh, yes.
Scary.
Scary. I'll be a bat. In this, they show that again, but after the bat crashes through the window and flies away, it's eaten by an owl.
Oh.
Because owls are on the top
Is there,
of the food chain compared
like,
to bats.
just owls in Gotham?
I
like,
guess
I feel
there
like-
has to be. There's like everything in Gotham.
I guess.
Crocodile men.
Yeah.
Batman ends up going in the sewers to like investigate stuff,
Mm-hmm.
where of course he is attacked by the Talon again, and when he wakes up, he's in a labyrinth, like a maze. And this is where the book gets totally bananas. Just like in The Cult, where Batman is tortured and stuff for like days or weeks. A similar thing actually happens in this, where he's down in this labyrinth for a very long time, trying to escape. And you see like different members of the Bat family, that's what they're called, of like Nightwing and Damian and Batgirl here, Catwoman, Alfred.
She's a part of the Bat family.
Catwoman?
Yeah.
Yeah, because her and Batman are always like banging or whatever.
All right. On the docks.
No,
That wasn't her.
that was
That
Black
wasn't her.
Canary.
Right,
Yeah.
So is he's in this labyrinth?
He's in this labyrinth, like dying of starvation and
eating
dehydration,
rats, like
eating
an owl.
rats, of course. And I love when you see him and you see like his eyes are like his mask all messed up, bloodshot, and he sees this fountain and he's like, oh my god, and he just starts drinking from it. He's like, it's probably poison, but I'm so hungry or so thirsty. Like I love that image of him. He just looks completely insane.
Bad.
Yeah.
He looks.
And he stumbles into a room of just like past members of the Court of Owls, and he sees his grandfather. Like these are all people that are either, I think that actually they might have been killed by the Court of Owls, and it does show his grandfather, and all he can think is like, my grandfather is supposed to be like this great man, you know, who was never scared of anything, but this picture of him shows him like crying, like pleading for his life.
It's not like a good picture.
No, it's like an image I would never want to see of anyone in my family. And
so his dad, Batman's dad, wasn't a part of this, though. It ended with his grandfather and his bloodline.
And Batman, like, he's straight up hallucinating. Like, he thinks he sees the Court of Owls, and he's chasing after him, and he's just going deeper into the maze.
Because of the water he drank. Or...
Yeah. And this is where the book gets kind of cool, because just to show, like, Batman's going insane, you gotta, like, turn, and the deeper Batman gets, like, you keep digging, he finds coffins of, like, dead, or, like, past Talons, or dead members of it, other Court of Owls, and he hallucinates his parents being old, and they're like, Bruce, like, you should have helped us, and he's like, oh god,
he's like, I was 10.
Yeah. And then he walks into another room with more pictures, and there's a camera in there, and it takes a picture of him, and he's like, ah, and then he like turns around for a second, and then the picture's already framed and on the wall, so it's like the Court of Owls are just like moving so quick.
So that kind of implies that all the other people... it's
you
upside
gotta
down.
Flip it upside down.
That's kind of interesting.
And like his parents are like melting in his arms, and he's just going crazy. He's attacked by an owl and like bit, and then he's like stabbed by the Talon.
I'm not gonna lie, if I was just reading this and I flipped it upside down, I would have flipped the wrong page.
I did that. I'm not even gonna lie. I did that when I was reading it.
So it kind of
love this
implies
cover.
That's horrific.
Yeah.
That's cool. Look at his teeth.
I know.
So it kind of shows that all of the people on the walls have gone through this then?
Yeah, like they were all put through this, and none of them survived. And the Court of Owls are getting a little ahead of themselves, putting Batman on the wall, you know, because obviously he's not going to die.
Right.
But he is going to go through probably the worst event of his life.
So, did they want Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't know that Bruce Wayne's Batman.
Right. Yeah.
They want him for his like lineage. And the Talons are like beating him up and everything, and Bruce is like literally dying. Like he's losing so much blood, and I think the elite, the people that wear the mask, not the Talons, they bring out like the youngest member of the Court of Owls, which is like a little girl, And they're like, what do you want us to do to him, child? And she's like, hurt him more or something. And this is, more hallucinations of Batman like rising up against them and becoming like a giant bat monster.
Ooh. Wait, is that like real?
It's not real, it's just in his head.
Looks cool.
It does look very cool. And then Batman does fight the Talon.
I love when he just looks
insane.
Yeah,
like
when he's like beaten.
Yeah.
And
And like
just looks primal.
Greg Capullo is such a good art. Like he draws this whole run. Like the majority of this run.
He didn't do the Cult, right?
No,
that's someone else.
But this book, talking about the Cult and then talking about this, it's
they're very similar.
Similar, just Batman going through.
Yeah.
Like
Hell,
trauma. Yeah. He does defeat the Talon, and eventually like blows up the ground and then exits through the sewer. I love this image where he's just like he's just in the water, in the sewer water. And I think he does get back to Gotham, or he does get back to Wayne Manor. And then you do see one of the I guess you could say this is like the head woman of the Court of Owls.
Her hand is very gross.
Yeah, and you learn that these coffins of the dead Talon, they're like zombies, and they bring them back. So the Talons, they're not living people, like they're undead. Previous fighters.
So the guy that he's been fighting.
Yeah.
Is it the same guy, or has he been fighting different ones?
I think it's the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah. But now this one's like, okay, Batman escaped. Wake them all up. Like, wake up all the Talon.
And one Talon was like a lot for him.
Oh, here's the owl attacking the bat.
Oh. Do owls eat bats?
I
mean, that makes sense.
I think they do. So Batman runs through the sewers, and he has a sewer location, or a sewer door into the Batcave. And he's like, Alfred, open up! And Alfred rolls up with like a shotgun, and he's like, who are you? And Batman's like, it's me. And I was like, oh dear God, you look horrible.
I like that Alfred is like ready to defend the man.
Me too, man. Yeah. I love when like Batman's like, I don't like guns, we don't use guns, but he lets Alfred have a shotgun.
Yeah.
I love that.
You think it's got like rock salt in it, or
no?
It's an actual
bullets.
Yeah.
Alfred will kill you. Alfred don't give a shit. He went through war. Like, I love Alfred. He's so cool. Batman does end up... So he did kill that Talon.
Okay.
That guy. And he does take the body. Like, he has the body, and he brings it to the lab. And he's running tests on it, and you find out... And Nightwing shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the same tooth thing that the other dude had. So the guy in the beginning who got murdered was part of the...
A Talon?
Or
just part of the society.
And then Batman drops the bomb, and he's like, Dick. He's like, Nightwing, this guy is your great-grandfather. So your family was linked to the Court of Owls. And then...
But his family wasn't rich, right?
No, but it doesn't necessarily have to... It has to be, like, prominent people.
Okay. Sure.
And you could say his great-grandfather could have been rich.
Could have been,
yeah. It could really be just anyone the Court of Owl thinks is worthy of joining. And Nightwing's, of course, like, my family is not a part of an underground society. But I was like, shut up! And he punches, like, Nightwing in the face.
He says, my grandfather.
Yeah. And he punches Nightwing in the face and knocks out a tooth.
Oh.
And he takes the tooth, and there's the owl symbol on it.
Oh.
So Batman's like, you were supposed to be the next in line for the Court of Owls. I know, he knocks out the right tooth.
What are the odds?
Because Batman's just so good. He knew how to punch him in the
Maybe that tooth is loose because there's like a tattoo on it.
Maybe. Who knows? There's a tattoo
He's
on
never
it.
been to the dentist.
Never. And then this volume ends with the Court of Owls guys like, all right, let's take back our kingdom and unleashing all the Talons into Gotham.
See, like,
you can look through that if you
the same with this and the Cult books, they would make such good movies.
They would.
Like, visually, it's very stimulating.
Robert Pattinson was talking about... Robert Pattinson was talking about what he would like to do for a sequel to the Batman, and he did mention the Court of Owls.
He did.
And there are a lot of people who are like, maybe the Court of Owls will be in the movie.
Maybe it would make a better TV show.
I think
Because there's a lot to
I
unpack
always
here.
thought that Batman would be a better TV show than a
Yeah.
movie because not only is he a detective, so you could have like a Law and Order type, like
Sure.
long running show,
Yeah.
but you also have these so many villains who are so colorful and crazy that you could really milk it for like 20
Yeah,
seasons.
you could, yeah.
You could, man.
I mean, they've done Batman TV shows, but
Yeah,
not...
like Gotham.
Yeah. Well,
But-
no, I mean, I meant like the older 70s TV
Oh
show.
yeah. That one slipped my brain.
Yeah,
Adam West.
Adam
Classic.
West. Yep.
If the Court of Owls were like around back then, that would have been a crazy show.
Yeah, I don't know if Adam West could handle the Court of Owls.
No, he couldn't. The Court of Owls let all the Talons
Yes.
run free in Gotham.
The corpses.
The corpses.
Yeah.
And so Bruce Wayne is like, relaxing at home in his robe, and he's like, "Man, I'm real tired. I really don't want a bunch of Talon to break
Right
into the
after
Batcave right
spending
now."
like a month in the labyrinth.
Yeah. He's like, the last thing I'd want is some Talons to break into my house. So then some Talons break into his house
Of course.
immediately.
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, and Bruce is like in his undies. He's like, oh God. And
What
so
kind of underwear does Bruce Wayne?
he's actually wearing sweatpants.
No
but
underwear.
also a robe. Probably not.
Yeah.
He's free balling right now.
yeah.
So Batman's like, Alfred, lock down Wayne Manor, and there's just like a ton of Talon inside, and Bruce runs down to the Batcave, and it's just Batman and Alfred, right? Of course, Alfred, boom, gets the
Shotgun. Yep.
but
It's
Bruce.
like a zombie apocalypse.
Bruce is exactly.
Yeah.
So Bruce is like, okay, these guys are all corpses. It's time to bust out my bat mech called the Hellbat. And so he's just like, get the hell out of my
That's
house.
pretty cool. What?
And he just like, the art changes.
Why doesn't he always use that?
I don't know. He whips out the Hellbat armor and he's like, you
Whoa.
guys are zombies? I'm gonna murder
Yeah,
you
he's-
guys.
he
I'm
doesn't
going
have
to
to-
town.
Yeah.
I don't need to care at all. So you just get to see Batman kill a bunch of
Just like
people.
rip them apart.
It's awesome. He uses the dinosaur. He
Oh.
turns it on and it steps on some talons. Yeah,
Finally.
here it is.
Some
Yeah,
dinosaur action.
you've been waiting for
I
that.
know.
Eventually, I think they like fuck up the armor. So he's like,
Mm.
"All right, Batman time."
He's probably much more mobile,
Yeah,
but for like dealing with a crowd of things he doesn't have
Yeah,
to
you
worry
gotta-
about hurting.
exactly.
Yeah.
So Batman calls the rest of the Bat family. He's like, "Okay, the Talon are invading Gotham," and he finds out that the Talon have like a list of people that they're going after. So one of them is Bruce Wayne, and Bruce is like, "Well, I got that covered."
Right.
The other one is Lincoln March. Right, you remember that
Yeah.
guy? So Lincoln March,
They already kind of got
they
it.
already kind of got him. And then a few other people are on the list. So Batman's like, "Let Nightwing go over there. You go over there. I'm going to go get Lincoln." So Batman's too late.
Mm.
And he finds Lincoln and he's dying.
Oh, no.
And Lincoln's like, "I have a message for
got
Bruce
shot?
Wayne." Yeah.
Lincoln got shot.
Oh, God. Or stabbed. I don't know.
Okay.
So Batman or Lincoln's like, "I got something for you," or for Bruce Wayne or whatever.
Mhm.
And it's like a piece of paper that like I think it has like the names of other people who are in the Court of Owls. So Batman goes to like the woman and is like, I know your and your husband's secrets. You guys are like the Court of Owls, or you're in the Court of Owls."
So then Lincoln was connected to the Court of Owls in some way.
He was.
Hmm. Oh, I just realized on the front cover, I thought he was holding an egg, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
one
the-
of the masks.
the masks.
Okay, I get it. I see it now.
Batman ends up rolling up on like a dinner party, but they've all killed themselves.
Oh.
Like cyanide or some shit.
Hmm.
And Batman's like, "Rawr!"
I wanted to kill them.
Yeah. So Batman, or I think the thing Lincoln gave him actually led him to the old Gotham orphanage,
Okay.
which I believe was run by Bruce's mom. I believe Bruce's mom was in charge of that place.
Ironic.
Yeah. And so Bruce, he shows up and someone's there, right? And at first he's like, it's a Talon, you know, but it's not. It's actually Lincoln March. So it turns out Lincoln March isn't dead, and he is a Talon. And he puts on a costume, and he becomes Owl Man.
Oh, he looks cool.
He does look cool. And, you know, they fight. He's also, since he was killed, so now he's a zombie. So Bruce is like, okay, I'm gonna fucking kill you again.
Yeah.
But there's more to their link, right? So it turns out.
He's like Jason Todd's grandpa or something.
No, he's actually Bruce Wayne's secret brother.
What?
So, okay, here's what happened.
Okay.
Before Bruce was born, they previously had a son, Thomas Wayne Jr., who was like, I think he was like special ed or something.
Oh, okay.
Or something was wrong with him, and they end up sending him to the orphanage instead.
What? That's so sad.
I know, but his mom did own the orphanage, so she would see him.
Okay.
And then they
make it good.
I know. So Bruce is like, "You're lying to me," and he's like, "I'm not.
No.
Like, I'm your brother. I'm Tommy."
Is he still alive then? He's not a corpse?
He is a corpse now that they
okay.
killed him.
Yeah.
And they just pretty much fight. For like...
That's it. I didn't know his chest lit up like that. And he can fly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the idea of Bat versus Owl.
Yeah.
I think it's very unique.
I think it's cool because, like, his brother... It almost looks Batman.
Yeah.
So it's like... I don't know.
They end up, like, flying towards a plane. And I think Batman just throws him into the turbine.
What?
Yeah, he's like, "You're a zombie."
I guess. It's still...
It's horrible, yeah. He's like, "You're already dead."
Yeah.
You know?
So, okay. So
not much of a loss.
All those people that died at the table at the dinner party, are they able then to be resurrected as
probably
Talons?
I guess so. They probably could be. But after this, the Court of Owls will return, but not super often. Owlman does come back. The turbine, you know. Yeah.
I was gonna say, these other Talons don't seem as strong as like the first one he fought.
Yeah,
like, that one gave him a hard time.
It did. Probably because like Batman didn't know what he was up against.
I guess.
You know.
Yeah. And he had limitations.
Yeah, but then I think Batman just like blows up a building with his brother in it, and then he like actually dies. I think it's Wayne Tower.
He's like gone forever. They bring him back.
I think they bring him
at some
back.
point.
They probably do.
But for this comic.
But for this, he
okay.
is done. And Bruce is like, okay, well, the Court of Owls are hopefully dead, which they're not. They will come back.
Well, if they're dead, then...
Well, yeah.
yeah. That's what they want.
Yeah. And...
he's got to get that old lady.
Yeah. Dick is, like, really... He's upset. You know, he's like, man, I was supposed to be... Not like he's upset that, I couldn't be a I couldn't be a Talon. He's more like, I can't believe my family was tied to this.
Yeah. Kind of sacrificed him into this life.
Yeah. And that, you know, Nightwing does have his own book during this time. I never read it. So maybe it dives into it more.
Resolution, probably.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the Court of Owls show up in his book more. I don't know. And then the rest of this collected edition is just like other stories that were going on in the Batman title. You meet some new characters like Harper Row, who she's like a girl. Her dad, she has a brother. Her dad was like a criminal and is in jail, and she like looks up to Batman. You know, eventually she'll put on like a costume and become like Bluebird or some shit. I don't know.
Like Robin.
Yeah. See, it's like after Damian, DC was like, okay, I don't know if we want to do any more Robins.
Yeah.
But Batman still gets sidekicks, so they have to come up with bird-themed
So Bluebird
names.
is a sidekick of Batman?
Yeah, it's this chick.
Is it Tiger?
There is a tiger here.
Is that Red Hood?
There.
Or just a guy with a red hood?
So, because this is technically a reboot, right? And this is, again, where it gets confusing. They do retcon, like, the Joker a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. They do retcon a lot of the... Like, a lot of the stories happen, so Batman got crippled by Bane, and, you know, whatever. But they do retcon certain things, like... Originally, the Joker was the first Red Hood, and you learn that in The Killing Joke by Alan Moore. And the Red Hood was just like...
Is he like a vigilante, or is he...
No, he was just like a loser, like a failed comedian who the mob put a red hood on and was like, okay, you're going to do this crime for us, and then Batman stops him and he falls into chemicals. In the New 52, the Red Hood is like a criminal mastermind.
With the
before
snake
he
tongue?
becomes the Joker. No, that's just like a guy.
Oh, this
it's not the
isn't him.
main
Okay.
Red Hood now.
Okay.
In a book called Zero Year, which is the New 52 version of Year One, where they
Okay.
retell the origin, there's the Red Hood gang. There's Mr. Freeze.
I was going to say, that looks like Mr. Freeze, but he's
Yeah.
not so blue.
No. But there's the Red Hood gang in the New 52, and it's all like the random people in Gotham, like cops and what?
Slurp? He's drinking the ice? Oh, because he spit it onto them. I see. I get it. Oh, he still has the same costume. Oh, you showed me this. Yeah. Okay.
I think I said before, I don't know if he needs a gun to shoot.
He doesn't have one.
I think he gets one though.
Oh, he does.
He does.
He's
Yeah.
got one.
So.
Lame.
Yeah. There was another villain. The Flash has a villain, Captain Cold. He doesn't need the gun in the New 52. Eventually he does, but at first he could just like shoot ice from his hands.
So is Nora his wife?
Not in this.
Okay.
In this is where she's
That's
like
what
a
you're saying.
movie
Okay.
star or something. And then his like sympathetic, character trait is his mom died, but really he like threw her in ice, or like they were walking on like a frozen over lake.
Oh, okay.
And
So
she,
he
like,
didn't like freeze her.
No.
Okay.
So they were walking over like a frozen over lake, and she falls in and gets like hypothermia and like a lot of bad shit, and eventually like taking care of her was such a burden that he just like threw her in the ice and just let her drown or freeze. Yeah, I think it's like here.
Oh, she's in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Oh, is that why he puts the goggles on?
I-
Because she
yeah.
had the red circles on her hand?
Yeah. Which I kind of like that
Yeah.
imagery. It's cool.
Is his mom's name like Nora or something? Or why is this
It might
actress
be.
so important to
I think
him?
he's just in love with her. If I can remember, I might not even have it correctly. I remember reading that and not really caring for that interpretation of Mr. Freeze, so I kind of blocked it from my brain. Yeah. I'm okay with like new interpretations of characters, but they have to be like compelling or interesting. Like this wasn't bad, but it's not as good as the previous Mr. Freeze.
Right. It's like, I don't know, he went from...
Like the stuff with his mom I think is cool, but the stuff with Nora, just make it his wife.
He went from like
Unless it is his wife.
a sympathetic character who lost his wife to creepy stalker who froze his idol,
Yeah.
which is more relatable if you think about
Well,
it.
of course. But the New 52 Batman was like pretty cool, when a lot of the New 52 stuff was like, debatably okay. Batman was genuinely good.
Like they did something interesting with it. With
They
the
did, the Court of Owls, and that's
yeah.
the first volume. The first two volumes are the Court of Owls, and then the next volume is Death of the Family, which the story where Robin dies in the 80s was called Death in the Family, and then so Scott Snyder is like, let's play that a little bit, at least the name. So Death of the Family, the Joker returns, and previously in Batman before the New 52, but they carried it over. Joker got his face cut off by the doll maker.
The doll maker.
The doll maker.
What do they do? Make dolls?
They like stitch people together. It's weird.
Interesting.
So the Joker comes back and
Was
he
that
like
pre-Joker or?
no.
Oh, that's just he was the Joker.
He was the Joker and then got his face cut off.
Weird. Okay.
And then he gets his skin from his face and he staples it back on.
Wow.
And then he's like, I'm gonna kill the Bat family.
Okay.
And he does
not the doll maker.
No.
No.
I think he wanted the doll maker to do it. He was like, this will be a funny joke or something.
Yeah.
He does not kill the Bat family. In
Right,
fact,
yeah.
none of them die.
There's
a moment.
Not even Robin.
No. There's a moment where you think he kills Alfred. Because the page ends with like Joker with an axe in front of Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
But no. Alfred's okay. Actually, Alfred got like pretty fucked up during... Joker like fucked him up a little bit.
Alfred.
Yeah. I think he did pump Alfred full of Joker toxins.
Okay.
He was all Jokerified.
Alfred just pops him in the head with a shotgun.
Yeah. Good old Alfred.
Yeah.
I wish Michael Caine Alfred used a shotgun. That would have been cooler. And then they did 0 Year, which was like year one. And they made Riddler like a big villain in that. Kind of like in the Batman movie, which I don't know why I pointed at the TV. We're watching it right now. Like in the new Batman movie, it looks like Riddler's going to like seize control of Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it looks like he's flooding it. And that's kind of what he does in 0 Year. Takes control of Gotham because no one's smart enough for his riddles. Except Batman. Batman's like, I figured it out, Riddler. And then eventually Batman and Joker would like fight to the death. And then they both die. Just kidding. They both like fell in the Lazarus pit or something. But everyone thinks Batman dies, so there's no Batman. So Jim Gordon...
What?
Jim Gordon becomes Batman.
No, he does.
Yes, he does. He shaves his mustache. And he gets like a robot suit.
Huh.
And he just like fights crime. It's really weird. It sounds kind of stupid.
It does sound kind of stupid.
But it's like, I don't know, it's interesting. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't. I can see why.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
That's a lot like Batman's dad being Batman.
Yeah. Like in the Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of cool because you got to see Gordon. He's like, I can't smoke when I'm Batman. You know? Because like, that'll make him... I can't smoke or drink because I have to be like at the peak of physical health.
Yeah.
So he's like going through with like withdrawals and being Batman and stuff. It's cool. And it was only for like a few issues and then Bruce comes back. And Bruce ends up like forgetting that he was Batman. Like he gets amnesia and he ends up falling in love with a woman. And they like are in charge of Gotham's orphanage or something. And then he remembers he's Batman and he's like, oh God. Bye, woman.
Oh.
It's sad.
Because you can't be married and Batman.
Exactly.
Right.
But eventually, a few years later, this writer Tom King, who I'm not a fan of, wrote Batman for a long time, and he was like, I'm going to make Batman and Catwoman get married. Just kidding. They don't get married because of time travel. We're not going into it. It's not just because time travel. Booster Gold's a character who gets involved.
He's the time travel one.
He's the time travel one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that Batman run.
Why?
It sucks. Tom King just doesn't... You see, Scott Snyder, like, infused this, like, personality in Batman. And Tom King's Batman is just, like, a robot, like, emo bitch. He's like, feelings, what are they? I guess I love Catwoman. I guess.
Does he?
I mean, kind of. It's not very believable, though.
Yeah.
He does make Bane a villain again. Like, a big villain again. Because Bane hasn't really done anything for a while.
And he's big and green.
No. No, he's not. He's just big.
Have you watched the old 70s Batman show? Any of it? With Adam West? I love how the Riddler, his riddles are just like... Like the stupidest stuff.
A sparrow with a machine
Yeah.
gun.
What has a bed but never sleeps? It's like, oh, I don't know, Batman. This one's tough.
Yeah. So funny. 60s cinema or television.
And then he solves the riddle. And he's like, I
Yeah.
guess you got me, Batman.
They have some great characters in that show, like Egghead
Yeah.
and like King Tut. Classic. Batman Black Mirror is
It's like a commentary on modern technology and society.
of course. No. It's a commentary on nothing.
On Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually very good. I really like this book.
Is it?
Also, the Joker poster I have is
yeah.
from this. That's why it's so scary, because it's drawn by Jock.
Oh.
This
this
is
is the book we were just looking at.
yes.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is right before the New 52.
Okay.
So a lot of the stuff in this is carried over, like the face scrambler thing that Dick was wearing
Yeah.
in the beginning of that. That comes from this book.
Okay.
Um,
So it's the same writer.
yes.
Okay.
And so, before this happened, Grant Morrison wrote Batman and introduced Damian Wayne, and then did Batman R.I.P., where Batman does like hallucinogenic drugs or whatever. And then Batman, in a big event called Final Crisis,
Mm-hmm.
is fighting Darkseid. You know Darkseid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting Darkseid.
Vaguely. I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's fighting Darkseid and fucking dies.
Ooh.
Or does he? He doesn't. He's sent through time, actually.
What is okay, I'm sorry. What is Darkseid's like power?
Okay, he's like God.
Okay.
So Darkseid is like, he's a new god,
Okay.
which are like space gods.
Sure. Is
they're-
that with like the lizard? Not a lizard. What is it? The guy
What?
that made the New 52 happen?
the Flash?
No. Wait, no. What's he called? The
Flashpoint?
the Monitor.
The Monitor.
Yeah, is he like is the Monitor one of the new gods, or is he
I
just
don't think so.
Hmm.
No, maybe. There was actually the Darkseid War, which was versus Darkseid and the Monitor, the Anti-Monitor. But I don't think he's the new.
They were
god.
on the same team, or they were fighting.
They were fighting each other.
Ah.
So the new gods are this race of gods. There's like two groups of them. There's on New Genesis. There's you remember when we were talking about Mr. Miracle?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle is a new god.
Oh, okay.
Or a new god-like character.
So him and his counterpart
yeah.
from Hell.
Yeah, Darkseid.
Yeah. Oh, that's Darkseid? No. Because like he's the son of God or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the son of Satan, and they swap places.
Yeah. So there's Highfather
But they're both
of
new
New
gods.
Genesis. And so Highfather is of New Genesis, and his son
Yeah.
was Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
And then there's Darkseid of Apocalypse, and his son was Orion. But they traded sons, so Mr. Miracle grew up on Apocalypse, and Orion grew up on New Genesis.
So is that the same Darkseid then?
Yes.
And that's his son.
Yes.
He's Mr. Miracle. Or his,
his
is the other guy.
adopted
Yeah.
son.
Okay.
Same thing.
Got it. Yeah.
So Darkseid just kills Batman.
Cool.
Yeah.
How
Well,
does he do it? He just
He shoots lasers out of his face.
Okay.
But they don't kill Batman. They send him through time. So Batman's at like the
Did he do
dawn
that
of.
on purpose?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of Final Crisis.
Okay.
So while Batman's
Like he
going,
doesn't know what his lasers do. He's just shooting them off at people.
No, he does. I think they were like usually his lasers are the Omega beams because they like. I don't know why they're called that. They're called that because they're really cool.
Sure.
And they like.
It's a cool
they will
word.
follow you.
Okay.
You know, so you can't escape them.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's not important. Batman's in time. Okay. So in Gotham, there's a problem. There's no Batman.
Okay.
So in this, well, not in this book, but previously in Batman, Dick Grayson becomes Batman. So Dick Grayson goes from Robin to Nightwing to Batman.
Okay, that makes sense.
So at this point, he's Batman. So the Batman in this book isn't Bruce Wayne.
Oh.
It's Dick Grayson.
Okay.
Um,
He wears the same suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he teams up with like Damian.
Hmm.
So, and I really like that because Dick Grayson's very light and funny. So you had a funny Batman and a serious Robin. So it changed the dynamic a little bit. It was something. It was very cool. So
And that's interesting for like the darkest Batman comic.
I
that
know
I've
this
seen.
book is horrifying.
Yeah.
It literally starts with. Okay, so this kid is
Mhm.
being bullied for being a shitty swimmer
Okay.
on the swim team.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting his hands on these drugs. And he takes the drug and he becomes like a Killer Croc type monster.
Okay.
And that's what this is. And he kills
Sure.
like everybody. And then later you'll see that like Man-Bat looking
Yeah.
monster. There's this guy who's been selling, the dealer, that's what they call him. He sells these drugs of like supervillain DNA. But not just that, he sells weapons and whatever. He sells everything illegal. But these drugs are like really bad.
Yeah.
Because they're like killing people.
Yeah,
You know, people
yeah,
becoming
right.
actual monsters.
Yeah.
So Dick Grayson has to get to the bottom of it. Dick Grayson's like trying to be his best version of Batman. You know, he doesn't really know how to do it. So he's doing it his own way. He's not being a complete asshole to like Jim Gordon and everybody else. He's like, we're buddies, you know? And Jim is like, you're clearly not Batman.
Yeah. You're different.
You're clearly Nightwing. Like, he doesn't, I don't think he puts it together that it's him, but he's like, I could tell you're not Bruce, or you're not Batman. the
So
same
is
one.
this after year one?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yeah, that was.
he knows kind of maybe that Bruce is Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from this point on, just think like everything is after year one.
Okay.
Yeah. Batman Dick is trying to get to the bottom of the dealer and his like schemes. He holds like auctions and this is where like rich people or whoever get their hands on the drugs or weapons. I think.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy, scary imagery in here. I love this. There's Batman with the gas mask. Because the dealer wears like a gas mask. You never see his face. The dealer, you don't really know anything about him except for that he's like crazy and he sells things at like auctions. Yeah, where is he? Here he is. He's like this really gross guy you never see. And I think in this auction, yeah, here he is. In this auction, he's selling. I think it's the crowbar that killed Robin that the Joker used to beat Robin to death.
Okay.
And people are bidding. Yeah, here it is. And it still has blood on it. Oh my
Everyone
God.
at the auction wears gas masks?
Yeah.
Okay.
To hide their identities.
Yeah. So this is like the rich and the elite.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
There is. Yeah. The Court of Owls.
Mhm.
Scott Snyder really likes the rich and elite, or maybe he
Being,
doesn't.
Like villains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
I know. Yeah, all the people here are turned into like monsters. The dealer's like, "Oh God, Batman's here! Spray him! Spray him all with shit." Yeah.
The fingers in this are very
Yeah.
detailed and grotesque.
They are. There's two stories in Black Mirror. The first one is the dealer story. And this Bat Iron Man armor.
Yeah, that
Is
looks like
the dealer's on like a
first
plane.
Superman.
Yeah, the dealer's on a plane where he has all his cargo and stuff, and that's why Batman's using that armor to like get on it. And I think the dealer turns himself into this Man-Bat thing. He takes like one of the drugs he's made or he's selling. So you get to see Batman fight a giant monster, and it's cool. But the main story in Black Mirror is this one. So.
What?
So there was like a break-in at the zoo,
Okay.
I think, and a bunch of like birds or some shit like left or escaped the zoo.
Sure.
And on the surveillance cameras,
The monkeys?
yeah, and on the surveillance cameras, Jim Gordon sees James Gordon Jr. Right, and he's like, "What? James Gordon Jr. just should be either in like I think he was supposed to be in like a mental hospital, Right.
Because he's like crazy.
Because he's crazy. Because in year 1 he got thrown off a bridge or something.
So does he have a son and a daughter?
He does. He has
Okay.
James Gordon Jr. and Barbara, who
Which is
becomes
Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Okay.
Yeah. But at this time, Barbara is crippled. She got shot
Hmm.
by the Joker. So
And the
she's...
Joker is just going after.
He's going after all of
Robins.
them, dude.
Or I guess she's not a Robin, but
Yeah.
she's still.
He's
a
going after
sidekick,
everybody. He doesn't
yeah.
care. So... And Barbara, since she can't be Batgirl, she becomes a character Oracle, who's
Okay.
like a hacker. She like does all the computer stuff for the Bat
Sure.
family, and the Justice League, and like whatever DC heroes she.
She can't predict the future. She's
Nah,
just
no, she's just good with tech.
okay.
She works with the Birds of Prey, but not like the movie because she wasn't in that.
Why?
She's the most important one. I don't know. Her, Black Canary, and Huntress are the Birds of Prey.
Mm.
In the comics, they're cool. In the movie, it sucks.
Mm.
So James Gordon Jr. meets his dad at like a diner.
Okay.
And Gordon is like, son, wait, what are you doing? You're out of the hospital. We saw you on the surveillance camera for the zoo. What are you doing? Are you taking your meds? Are you okay? And he's like, I'm fine, Dad. I promise. I'm not the villain of the book. And Gordon is like, I can't trust you. Like, you had... They mention how he's had a few instances of, like, mental problems where he's attacked people. When him and his sister were growing up, Barbara, one of her friends went missing. And Barbara was like, it's James. James did it. Like, she's so quick to blame her brother. But just because he's had mental problems and everything, he was always the obvious choice. And he's like, I'm trying. You know, I am taking my meds. I'm trying to not be bad, you know. I don't hurt people.
What did he do before? Like, that got him sent to this mental institution?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I don't remember.
Do you see it, or is they just
No,
tell
like,
you?
he's just out already.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
So there's a moment where James Gordon Jr., I'm just going to call him Jr.
Yeah, that's
Jr.
fine.
goes to the bathroom.
Okay.
Right. And I think it's like a man and woman bathroom, like anyone could use it.
Sure.
And he goes in there, and someone else goes in there too, like a woman or a waitress or something. And then James Jr. leaves, and then there's like water from the toilet or something flowing, and Jim is like freaking out.
What did you
He's
do?
like, what did you do? Like, did you kill someone in the bathroom, bro? And James Gordon Jr. makes a joke where he's like, yeah, I drowned the waitress in the bathroom. And then Jim is like, what?
What?
And he's like, oh, I'm just kidding. I have a really terrible sense of humor.
Yeah. He's like, I clogged the toilet.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. It's a really well done scene because the entire time, like, Junior's trying to talk to his dad, but Gordon is so focused on the water coming out. He's like, he can't concentrate. And Gordon's like, or Junior's showing him like his pills and everything. He's like, I got him. I'm taking them. You know, I promise I'm okay. I just like want to be a family again.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like being the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
And
So
of
it's
course,
like he's trying really hard,
he is.
but Gordon is just
Yeah, but there's
he's
all these
prepared
signs.
to,
Yeah,
like,
there's all these signs that he's the villain.
Yeah.
But he's really trying. And when his son leaves the diner, Jim immediately goes to the bathroom, and it's just like the sink overflowed. So he's like, "Oh God, I don't trust my son. I feel terrible about it, but like I don't." You get to see Batman and Tim Drake, who is Red Robin. Yum. He's Red Robin at this time. They're dealing with a character, Orca.
He throws bottomless fries.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's this... They have a few flashbacks of little James Gordon Jr. being like a fucked kid.
What is he? He like knocks squirrels out of trees and...
Yeah, he's like killing animals and stuff. Like, all the signs of a psychopath when you're young. He's like dressing up as the Joker on Halloween,
Which is terrible.
Which is like, Gordon's like, bruh, just like Batman.
He's like a real serial killer.
Yeah. Also, the Barbara's friend who went missing, she had a keychain, right? And the keychain was like a little bat.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, she went missing and no one ever saw her again. And Barbara, again, always blamed. Like, any excuse they could get to blame James Jr., they kind of took it. When it was something like, fucked.
Yeah.
Especially in the area. So in a way, you really sympathize with him. You're like, man...
Because they're always assuming the worst. But, like, how much of
Exactly.
this stuff did he actually do?
Exactly. And you don't know. Or you do.
Do you ever find out? Or is it
You
just
do find
left
out.
okay.
There's a story
an
about
orca.
Batman fighting the orca, which I'm not going to get into.
Is that a villain?
Yeah, it's like a whale woman.
It just looks like a regular whale.
Yeah. They throw like a big ass whale in Wayne Tower or something.
Just get out of the water.
Yeah, literally. Okay. So Dick Grayson ends up running into Junior in the street, and they used to go to school together.
Okay.
Because they're like the same age, so they knew each other. And Dick is like, okay, I don't trust you, but I'm gonna be nice. You know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're a murderer or whatever. You know, or you let some birds escape from the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Dick
What
is
a crime.
I know. So Dick is like, you know, trying to be nice, but you know, he still doesn't trust him, so he's still like following him and like keeping tabs on him. Oh, also, there's a character, Tony Zuko, who killed Dick Grayson's parents, has a daughter
Okay.
who is in this. And
Tina Zuko, what's her name?
I don't even remember.
Tony Jr.
Yeah, but she is quite fine, and Dick Grayson kind of likes her.
Mm.
But he's like, oh, I can't bang the woman
yeah,
they killed. Like, I can't do it.
I mean, she's not her dad.
Yeah.
Is she evil?
No.
Oh, okay.
At first, he's like, I can't trust you, but she's like, nah, bitch.
Okay.
You know, she's like, fine.
They're like a mob family, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
So,
but
like-
she's not connected. Like, she got married, or no, she changed her name
Okay.
or something, so she doesn't
She doesn't want it. Okay, I got it.
Earlier when Dick and Junior were talking, Junior mentioned how he ran into like an old classmate or something, like an old bully that used to bully him, and Dick was like,
Wait, that wasn't him in the beginning. No, never mind. That wouldn't make sense. Because in the beginning of the book, there was that kid that was getting bullied, but
no.
then I remember he turned into a monster and
Yeah.
killed them.
And so Dick is like, oh, you know, I haven't talked to that guy in a long time. Next time you see him, you know, say hello for me.
He's like,
And Junior's like, okay, man. So Junior goes home, and he's like, just doing normal things, just checking the mail,
Sure.
whatever. And then he goes down to his basement, and the classmate is down there, and he's missing his jaw and his arms.
Oh.
And this is where you learn that Junior is literally fucked.
okay.
And he's like, hello, Ben, you know, I ran into Dick Grayson. He said hello.
Oh.
Now, where were we? And he gets like a saw. So, yeah, Jim has
That's
Gordon has every reason to believe that his son is deranged
Yeah,
because he
I
literally
guess.
is. And
So is he not taking his pills?
he's not. You find out that he hasn't been. Or he's taking placebo pills, like just fake pills that don't do anything. And Gordon ends up finding like this little lockbox of Junior's.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of keychains in it, including the bat keychain of Barbara's friend.
Oh.
So you find so he's guilty.
Yeah, okay.
Just turn to that page.
yeah, okay.
This is so scary.
there's a lot of images of people with like their mouths cut.
The Joker gets
The Joker
involved.
does
Yes.
that? Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
And I don't know if
Is that
I don't
like-
remember if Joker and Junior are working together. I think they might be.
Is that the kind of inspiration for the Dark Knight Joker?
No, I think this came out after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
There are some books
It's
that
a
are
lot
like,
darker than
It is.
the past Joker, which was kind of
silly,
aloof, and
yeah. Through the years, it definitely made Joker more of a threat, you know. And Joker does go after Barbara, Gordon's wife, in this horrific image.
That's,
And yeah, I do believe Junior and and Joker are working in cahoots. To which Batman's like, oh god, I gotta like. Oh, I think at this time Dick and Barbara used to have like a relationship. They used to date.
okay.
But occasionally he'd like date Starfire from Teen Titans. So I think they might be together now.
Is that like canon? Is he a part of the Teen Titans?
At this point, no, because he's Batman.
But he was.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before he became Nightwing, or
yeah, he when he was Robin, he was like one of the founding members of the Teen Titans.
Okay.
So of course, here's the Joker, right? The Joker.
So while he's in the Teen Titans, he's still with Batman.
Yeah,
he's still like, oh, that's a lot.
It is for a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
It is a lot. I think like while he's at the Titans, he'll like stay in the Titans building.
Yeah.
You know, he won't go back and forth from Gotham to wherever. Yeah. You know, but so
they're in practically shaped buildings.
Yeah. So the Joker shows up, and Batman's like, oh god, I gotta fuck up the Joker now. It's like, why are you working with Junior? Like, what is going on? And one of my favorite things from this book is, so Joker's obsessed with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite lines is, immediately Joker looks at Batman and he's like, smells like you got feathers, little bird. Like, he could tell it's Robin, you know? And he's like,
oh,
yeah.
That's interesting.
I know. Like, Joker's always, like, so obsessed with Batman that he could just tell that it's a different guy under the suit.
Smells like you have feathers, little bird. I like that.
Yeah. Of course, Junior goes after Barbara. He's like, you always hated me, Barbara. You made me feel like shit. I'm going to kill you. And Dick and Gordon are not going to let that happen. So I really like seeing Gordon and Dick, like a grown-up Robin, like team up together to fight Gordon's horrible son, which is crazy. Like, this would be a great subplot in a movie or something. I would love to see this.
Just the son being a
crazy
psychopath murderer.
Yeah. I like that he stabs Barbara's legs, which doesn't do anything because she's crippled already.
I didn't know. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
But, you know, he's like threatening to stab, like,
his glasses.
I know. I really love this art. The scary art and this art. I love the colors, especially in this one. It just looks so cool. The dealer, he's here too again.
I forgot about him.
Yeah. And it's just like a straight up like slasher movie at this point because Junior's just going after everyone. And he's like, let's play hide and seek. Like Barbara's like crawling on the floor, like she's like trying to run away.
It's like, what's the Stephen King movie or book?
Misery?
Misery,
It is just like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And James Gordon Jr. is like lurking around the house, and it's really tense and scary. She's like horrified, like wheeling around and then like crawling, and he's like, "Come on, Barbara, let's play hide and go seek, our favorite little game."
He talks so like blasé.
Yeah.
To these people that he's torturing.
I know. And she's like crawling on the floor, blood from her like legs is just leaving a path, and he's like, I'm almost there, I'm getting closer. And then all you see is just Batman's eyes from the darkness, and he's like, can I play too? And then he just punches Junior right in the tummy.
The tummy.
Yeah, and then just beats the shit out of him. It's great. And then Junior does escape and runs to the bridge where he was thrown off in year one. And then Gordon's there, and Gordon's like, you bitch! Like, I don't want to kill you, you're my son, but like, I don't know what to do anymore, you know? And Gordon actually shoots him. Like, Gordon shoots him, and he falls off the bridge again, but Gordon catches him this time.
It's kind of poetic.
Yeah. And
saving him when he couldn't save him before.
Exactly. It's very cool. It's a very... Oh! I completely forgot to leave this part out. Junior was gonna poison a bunch of children,
Oh.
make them like crazy.
Okay.
Like he is or something.
Yeah, okay. Can you do that? You can just like.
I think he
put
was gonna like
something in the
switch
water
medication or like do something with the medication.
Okay.
But Batman and Gordon like stopped it before
Sure.
it could happen. But then like this book ends with like it shows a baby and the baby looks like whacked out, suggesting like maybe he got
He
to
did
one.
something.
Yeah.
So then what happens with the dealer guy?
Oh, he just never returns. Like
Ever?
no, I don't think so. Because then they reboot and never use him again, which kind of sucks.
That
'cause
sucks. He's kind of a cool character.
I know, and they never reveal who he is underneath. There's like
Hmm.
he's just so mysterious and creepy.
I like the idea of any regular person being
Yeah.
like a super villain. Like all they need is this illegal drug, and then they
I know.
can be man.
I like the idea of like this dealer, like this auction guy,
Yeah.
who's just selling criminal stuff. I think that's again that could be used in a movie. That could be great.
It could, yeah, that would be cool.
Especially in the new Batman, which looks more grounded and stuff. Like I could see this whole story. You know, the dealer and James Gordon Jr. being involved, even though
It seems like a lot. I don't know
Yeah.
if they'll have. They probably
like not in this one, you know, but in like
okay,
sequels and
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
But seeing the
the gas mask or something.
yeah,
Like the way the new Batman movie looks, the grittiness of it, I could see like this version of the Joker, like the way he tortures people, like that scene of Barbara in the bathtub, you know, with the smile on her
Yeah.
face. Like if I saw
Yeah.
that in a movie, I'd
I would
shit
freak
myself.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be scary.
it would be.
Is the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie related at all to any comic? Or is it just like an idea that someone had and they were like, okay.
There's like bits and pieces, like he's a failed comedian and
Yeah.
stuff. That's from The Killing Joke, but that like him having that disease that he can't like stop laughing or something.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
I didn't love that.
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, different, you know.
But Joker,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's better if he genuinely
crazy.
thinks it's funny,
Yeah.
you know? It's not like a condition he can't control.
Mm-hmm.
He's just messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
more frightening.
That Joker movie is something.
It is something.
Yeah. I like it a lot, but I
It's
kind of
good.
think it like they greenlit a sequel.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, how are they gonna?
I
do
don't
that?
know. And I think it just works good on its own.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need anything else. You know,
Hmm.
money.
I feel like it almost would have been better if he wasn't the Joker. You know, like if it was just its
Yeah.
own thing. He wasn't.
Or like a pre-Joker. Like one day there will be a real Joker. Like he's just
yeah, maybe even that would be good.
So
Like,
what-
cause at the end there's like the riot or whatever.
yeah.
So maybe someone looks up to him
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, and then becomes the Joker. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I just feel like him being the Joker.
Willem
I
Dafoe.
don't know about that.
Right. Willem Dafoe made a comment.
Yeah,
And I always thought Willem Dafoe would be the perfect Joker.
me too.
And Willem Dafoe said if there was going to be a Joker 2, he would love to play another Joker who's like clearly not the Joker, but he's just trying to fuck with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. That's an awesome idea.
That would be cool.
I would love to see. Any way I could get Willem Dafoe in that makeup, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Man, I hope at the end of the Batman, you know, roll credits, after credit scene, Willem Dafoe pops up.
Yeah,
I'd cry.
a big fat Jack Nicholson waddles onto the stage.
He could play the Penguin now.
He could.
Oh,
A very
man.
old penguin.
It's awesome. Oh, Jack Nicholson.
He's great.
He is.
Yeah.
I think he's a great Joker. I don't think there's been a bad Joker. Oh, no, never mind. Jared Leto. I forgot. I blocked him from my mind. And you ever watch Gotham?
A little tiny bit.
Yeah.
There's like Jared or something, right?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
No. The thing is, like, Joker doesn't have a
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
The thing is, well, sometimes he does. Like, in the Jack Nicholson movie, they say his name's Jack Napier.
Jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I prefer when Joker doesn't have a
Wait,
name.
so
but I
Jack
just don't know.
Nicholson, he played Jack Torrance,
Yeah.
and he played Jack the Joker.
Yeah.
What's his name in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Probably Jack.
Jack.
I don't remember.
I guess he just looks like a Jack.
Yeah.
What is it in Gotham?
He has like Jared and then Jeremiah.
It is Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or I think it is Jared, yeah.
That's such a dumb name for the Joker.
There's
It's like such an average name.
there's like that show gets weird.
Does it?
The first
Like a good way or
no.
Oh.
Like the first 2 seasons, I enjoyed the first 2 seasons. When they introduced Mr. Freeze, I was like,
He's in it? I didn't even
yeah,
know.
he has like hair, which is weird.
Mm.
The thing with that show is at first I liked it because it was just like pre-Penguin, pre-Riddler, pre the villains who you don't need Batman to defeat.
Yeah.
You know, like Riddler.
Not really pre-Penguin though.
Well, I mean, he was the
Isn't he,
Penguin.
like the main.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like fat or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Young Penguin.
Yeah.
You know, like, you need Batman to defeat the Riddler because he's so smart, but, like, the cops could figure it out if they tried.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe. And he's not, like, leaving riddles all the time. He's just kind of like a crazy guy. But when they start introducing, like, Mr. Freeze and villains that the police cannot handle, then that kind of lost me. Because I was like, Batman's 12.
Right.
So by the time he's Batman, Mr. Freeze is going to be 60.
Yeah,
You
right.
know? Like, at least they like made Batman and the Joker or Jared or whatever his name
like the
is.
same age.
This similar age. Like Joker was a little older, which is fine. You know,
What is he, like 17?
I guess, and Batman's like 12 or 13. I don't know. But the new Batman movie, they mentioned that they're gonna do a spin-off, an HBO spin-off, GCPD, which is all about the cops, and I think that could work.
You can
Doing
even
a show
have stuff with Gordon's son in that.
Oh my god, perfect.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. You could do the show about cops dealing with the villains, but you need Batman to be like a overshadowing like presence.
Mhm.
You know, you don't need Batman in the episodes, just knowing that
That
he's
he
there.
exists in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like just in case Mr. Freeze's whatever got too crazy, you could always count on Batman being there. And I think I told you about this book Gotham Central, which is all the cops. It's great to see like just flesh out the universe more.
Because, like, you always see Batman coming in and solving the crimes.
Yeah, but what
there's
about
gotta
like
be
the cops?
some crimes that he doesn't.
I know, like
take
Gotham is
care
a
of.
city. There is a
Right.
lot of people.
Yeah.
He can't solve everything all the time. If they go like that route for the GCPD show, I think it'll be good.
Well, is that all you want to talk about for Batman?
I guess so, yeah. I hate Batman. No, I'm kidding. my first 2 shelves are completely Batman.
Yeah.
So,
Are they?
mostly.
Huh.
Like the first one is completely Batman. The second one is Batman and then it gets into like Superman and Batman. Yeah. Good night.
Good night. This is the end.
Yes, goodbye. Hope you've enjoyed us talking about Batman for so long.
For like 3 hours.
Yeah. I think that's a good end.
I think that's it. Yeah, you got it.